It's time now for the best high school sports action from the WBCB Sports Network. Catch the best games from Bucks and Mercer County at WBCBSports.com and our Facebook page. Your home for high school sports is right here at WBCB 1490.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Fairless Hills, Pennsylvania, the site of today's Pennsbury High School football game, video streamed to the world through WBCBSports.com and on our YouTube page, WBCB Sports. Hello, everyone. I'm Bill Redner, and along with Chris Ermer, Ben Goldstein, and Gus Barber, we'll have all the live play-by-play brought to you in part by BCWSA, PNC Financial Services, St. Mary Medical Center, Perry Warren for State Representative, Rob's Automotive and Collision. Also, today's game is brought to you by the Revere Restaurant at 802 River Road in nearby Ewing Township. Team Toyota by Kim Rock Keller Williams, the official realtor in the Pennsbury School District. Today's game is also brought to you by Vita Care Home Health Agency, Kalinowski Performance Academy, the Peruzzi Automotive Group, McCaffrey Supermarket, 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning, Nolan Painting. Today's game also brought to you by your state senator, Steve Sanacero, who would like to take this opportunity to wish the Falcons the best of luck this afternoon. Also by Fellow Auto Group, Lower Bucks Hospital, Chance to Save Bargain Outlet, Jammer Doors and Windows, the Trentonian. Don't forget you can read about this game in tomorrow's editions with Rick Fortenbaugh, also later on at Trentonian.com. And this is the Trentonian pregame show. Also brought to you by Junior's Car Wash. If you want your car looking clean all the time, it's Junior's right near Pennsbury High School. By the parents of the Pennsbury Football Club, who would also like to take this opportunity to wish their Falcons the best of luck this afternoon. Di Lorenzo's Pizza, New Falls Road. BAI Security Systems. Puss in Boots Tavern. Charcoal, BYOB. Kramer's Bakery, the Johnson Chiropractic Center, and Yardley Pharmacy and Supply. And this is the Trentonian pregame show. And Chris, I have quite a few festivities out here this afternoon. It's homecoming, and they're honoring the undefeated state championship Pennsbury High School football team of 1974.
Well, Bill, it's great to have you with us, getting set for Pennsbury football here on WBCB, and a big game for the Falcons. A big win last week, getting a field goal to seal the deal off the foot of Angelo Pereira, and moving them to 3-2, but today up against a really tough CB South team, so far undefeated at 5-0. And as you said, some ceremonies. We'll have the homecoming for you at halftime. The Pennsbury Marching Band, the Long Orange Line, will perform at halftime today. And before the game, we're going to honor the 74 team, Bill. And that was, a great Pennsbury team, 11-0, and really a historic team. And so they're going to get recognized before the game, maybe helping to lift this orange and black team up a little bit, because they're going to need to bring their A game against CB South today.
Well, I'll tell you, I had the pleasure and the honor of covering this 1974 team on WTTM with Mike Mayo and Frank Westall.
Well, that's going back a little bit.
Right, yes it is. And I can remember those trips up to Easton and Bethlehem and Allentown. It was a tough schedule. We're going to be talking with John Horovitz, the defensive end from that great team, at halftime for a few minutes, and they're going to honor them. It was head coach Chuck Kane, who's also my teacher from 7th grade through 12th grade, and Bob Buchanevich, one of the best offensive coordinators to grace these fields here in Lower Bucks County. But we'll get to that 1974 team at halftime. Right now, we got the 2024 Falcons, who you say need to win this game today.
And Bill, part of our Trentonian pregame activities has been our Nolan Painting Brush of Brilliance. And we turn now to Gus the Bus Barber. And you look back at last week and pick out a couple of things that really stood out in the Falcons' win over CB East.
Yeah, well, you look at that win last week against CB East, a much-needed win after that performance against the Penridge Rams, a much-needed win. You saw a team in the Penridge game, Pennsbury, that they just didn't really seem like they were playing together tightly. Some things need to be cleaned up. Well, last week they did just that, and you saw it team first for these guys. Henry Garlitz, the quarterback, for the start of the season, he does a position change. He switches from the offense to the defensive side and helped out that defensive side so much, limiting that CB East team to only 14 total points last game. So he was able to show his brilliance of not just being able for the team, but switching positions, switching complete sides of the ball. So a fantastic job by him showing his brilliance offensively. You had the new quarterback, like we said, Henry Garlitz, moving from offense to defense. You had David Kane coming in and showing a little bit of what he can do in this offense. And another great ground performance by another guy on this offense, Caden Brown, able to eclipse the 100-yard mark. I believe he got over 150 yards, able to get our DeLorenzosburg player of the game. So another ground and pound dominant performance. And I cannot talk about the brush of brilliance without talking about one of the most brilliant players on this team and the guy that was able to kick the game-winning field goal for the Falcons, Angelo Pereira. It seems like anytime this guy goes out onto the field to make a kick, an extra point, he is so cool, calm, and ready to kick it. Like Ben said, snap, hold, kick. It goes in, baby. That is our brush of brilliance players and plays of the game, presented by Nolan Painting with me, Gus the Bus Barber.
And it's great to have them on board for Pennsbury Falcon football here on WBCB. It was a big kick for Angelo Pereira. Ben, it seemed to me like that game might have been ticketed for overtime if it wasn't for the foot of Pereira. But it was a really nice debut for David Kane at quarterback for this Pennsbury team, 6'1" junior. And as Gus was just mentioning, great to have Henry Garlitz able to be as versatile and still a big part of the show. But a pretty good job by David Kane last week running the show for the Pennsbury offense.
Yeah, Kane was huge from behind the center. He had his first passing play as a quarterback. He took the snap, rolled out to his right, broke a few sacks, and threw a deep one down the field to Matt McGinty to get deep into the Patriot defense. And it was a huge play. Kane was fired up. The team was fired up. And I saw Henry Garlitz on the sideline fired up for the new quarterback. And it shows a lot to this team how much they rally behind each other, how much of a team they are. And as you mentioned at Penn Ridge, things kind of seemed apart. They taped those things together against the Patriots. And this is a big one today. They're playing the best team in the SOL National, maybe. And a big win after over the Patriots last week. They hope to carry that over this time against the Titans, right? They're the Titans?
Yes, and so far, Ben, you're right. This CB South team has been the best team in the area. 5-0. They had no problem against Archbishop Wood. They took care of Souderton and Upper Dublin with lopsided scores. Then took it to CB East, the team that Pennsbury beat with a last-second field goal. CB South beat up 34-15. Their score in that game. And then last week, they had a tough one against CB West. They beat the Bucks, but it was their closest score, 22-17, moving them to 5-0. But as Ben said, this team packs a punch, and one of the guys who they really have to watch out for is senior quarterback Owen Pinkerton. And you look at what he's done, Ben. He's doing it both through the air and on the ground with 1,200 combined yards, both throwing and rushing. So they're going to have to figure out, I don't know, which element of his game they're going to try to contain.
Yeah, my umbrella just actually went inverted up here,
I
so I'm going to have to figure that one out. But yeah.
I thought you were excited about my stat.
That's what I thought. It went perfect.
It is a very exciting stat. But a big problem with this Pennsbury defense this year has been in the air in the passing game. And this Central Bucks South quarterback could certainly throw it. So Pennsbury's secondary is going to have to lock in for that one, and they'll have Henry Garlitz at the whip position to maybe help out with that. So I'm interested to see what we get from this Pennsbury secondary today. Yeah,
they need to make sure they avoid the deep ball. It's been something that has been a problem for Pennsbury throughout the season, and against Pinkerton could be an issue today. So I think stop the run is a big priority, but you got to make sure this guy doesn't throw the football on you as he has done so far this season and throughout his time at CB South.
Well, you look at the defense he's going up against. Like Ben said, it's a secondary that's given up a lot of opportunity for offenses that they faced. But you look at the other side of that, their run defense and getting after the quarterback has been absolutely fantastic, led by Walker Murray. So a very good dual threat quarterback, but he may be limited with how much he can run today with how stifling this Pennsbury run defense is.
How stifling the run defense is, Gus, and conditions are going to be an issue here today. Thankfully, we got Ben up on top of the press box behind the camera.
Like he said, he's got an umbrella up there, so.
Well, I appreciate Ben's versatility in taking on that role, as he'll be our camera guy and also helping with the call.
Yeah, I'll try and be a little bit of a meteorologist as well. Right now, I got 3 words: wet, wind, and cold. Like snap, hold, kick. It's wet, wind, and cold.
It's not that cold.
It's a little chill. This wind is pretty chilly.
It's pretty wet.
It is very wet.
And I'll give you the wind. But Pennsbury Falcon Marching Band taking the field, and they will honor America with the playing of the national anthem here in just a moment as we get you closer to kickoff on WBCB.
The Pennsbury Football Parents Club reminds you to visit their concession stands at home games and also look for their spirit wear and apparel on sale at every home game. They'd also like to thank Fairless Hills Produce for donating bananas and oranges for the season. This message brought to you by the Pennsbury Football Parents Club, who wish the Falcons the best of luck. This is the Trentonian pregame show. Don't forget you can read about this game with Rick Fortenbaugh later on at Trentonian.com in tomorrow's editions of the Trentonian. And we'll be right back with more of the Trentonian pregame show right after these words on WBCB Sports.
It's time now for the best high school.
BCWSA customers, former Phillies pitcher Tommy Green here. I played on the 1993 National League champs, so I know a thing or two about what it's like playing on a winning team. BCWSA has all the ingredients. They make it easy for their customers to get automatic updates by text, email, or phone anytime there is a disruption in your service area. You can even customize your alerts by going to bcwsa.net. That's bcwsa.net. BCWSA, your partner for a safer environment. BCWSA, proven.
When it comes to plumbing, there's only one trusted name for your home or business. That's Ben Franklin Plumbing of Levittown. Whether it's drains, water heaters, faucets, or sewers, Ben Franklin Plumbing of Levittown can solve all of your plumbing problems. Time-tested and punctual since 1984. It's Ben Franklin Plumbing of Levittown. Call them at 215-943-1776. That's 215-943-1776 for Ben Franklin Plumbing of Levittown, a proud supporter of high school athletics in Bucks County.
Parents, are you looking for an athletic performance coach for your child with over 25 years of experience? Coaches, are you looking for a strength and conditioning coach that has coached youth to professional teams to record success? Your only choice is the Kalinowski Performance Academy. The Kalinowski Performance Academy is the area leader in personal, group, team academy prep, and return to play training. The Kalinowski Performance Academy believes that everyone should have an opportunity to be their best. Go to trainlikecal.com to be Cal's next success story. That's trainlikecal.com, spelled K-A.
Back here overlooking Falcon Field, getting you ready for high school football on a Saturday morning. We'll have a big noon kickoff as we now rise for the national anthem and get you closer to kickoff as we listen in to the long orange line. The Pennsbury Falcons taking on the CB South Titans here on WBCB. Some SOL National High School football coming your way. Again, the Titans with an unblemished 5-0 record. The Pennsbury Falcons riding a wave of energy off of a big win over CB East last week, getting a field goal off the foot of Angelo Pereira to win it. And a little more from the long orange line as the CB South Titans head over to the far side of the field. And it's homecoming. So why not the Pennsbury alma mater to set the scene?
You know, I went to Pennsbury and I still don't know the alma mater.
Bill, you can sing along. Great to have Bill Redner up top with us, Ben Goldstein behind the camera, and Gus Barber doing our video engineering. Kickoff coming up in moments on BCB.
And this is the Trentonian pregame show.
Yeah, we got all the atmosphere, all the festivities. It's high school football Saturday afternoon on WBCB. And before the game now, they're going to honor the 74 team.
This special group of men accomplished something that had never occurred in the history of Pennsbury football. 50 years ago, in the fall of 1974, Pennsbury football was declared state champions in the PI statewide sports writer poll. That season, Pennsbury outscored its opponents on 379 to 78, including 3 shutouts on its way to an undefeated 11-0 record. Not only did the Falcons team finish 11-0 in 1974, they compiled a 31-1-1 record between 1972 to 1974. For 3 straight years, they won the Lower Bucks League Championship and the Big 8 Conference Championships and set records on both offense and defense while going undefeated in both 1972 and 1974. We are proud to welcome back these players and recognize them for what they accomplished. Unfortunately, we know of 3 members of the team that have sadly passed away: senior Terry Fitzpatrick, juniors Tony Soriero, and Alan Arch. Joining the 1974 team today are the surviving coaches who led these young men to victory: Bob Buchanavich, Joe Lelinski, Joe Lowe, and Ron Davidson. And smiling down from heaven are coaches Jim Dundala, Max Mixon, Al Matuza Jr., and of course legendary head coach Chuck Kane, represented today by his son Chuck Kane Jr. Let's all show our appreciation to these Pennsbury football legends and congratulate them on the 50th anniversary of this incredible season.
Well, that does bring back memories. You mentioned some legendary coaches besides Bob Buchanavich, Max Mixon, the late Max Mixon, Ron Davidson, Jimmy Dundala, who went on to coach, that became the head coach here at Pennsbury, and Joe Lowe. These are legendary coaches who graced our football gridirons back in the day in the early 70s. And
Well, I tell you what, 74 doesn't seem like 50 years ago, but the 50th anniversary of this great team recognized here today, that's pretty awesome.
And just to have the honor, Chris, to cover them. Joe Crossan, the quarterback, he was a 3-sport athlete. If you recall, Joe, we saw when they honored the basketball team a few years ago with Ed Cochran. Joe was there with Dave McEwen, and
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to today's 2024 homecoming.
He was a heck of a quarterback, a heck of an athlete, as they all were, all these players, and what they accomplished, because that conference was the premier conference in the state of Pennsylvania at that time, in that time frame. You had Easton, Bethlehem Liberty, Bethlehem Freedom.
Yeah, those are the big boys.
Yep, William Allen, Dira from Allentown. Reading became a member, and of course, Neshaminy joined us with Pennsbury. And Neshaminy and Pennsbury became so dominant in that league over the years, they basically asked us to leave. And that's a true story. And they were some classic battles to go up there on a Friday night to Bethlehem, play at that stadium with 15,000 fans. Easton at Cottingham Stadium, 12,000 fans. It was some great football.
Now the 2024 Falcons join the 74 Falcons on the field as they get ready to take on the CB South Titans here today. Again, led by their senior quarterback, Owen Pinkerton. Yeah, but we got it all. The long orange line. I saw some of the cheerleaders actually singing along to the Pennsbury alma mater, which is pretty cool.
They had to probably teach them 4 times.
That's a lot of school spirit.
A lot of school spirit.
You take that back, Gus.
I don't remember. I don't remember it.
I'm going to be honest. I don't know. I don't know it either.
I don't remember it.
No clue.
I know what people do remember when it comes to Fairless Hills.
Yes.
Puss in Boots, because they've been cooking things great for close to 50 years.
I'm going there later.
Yep, the Boot. That's the place to go. 942 Trenton Road in Fairless Hills. Don't forget, today is their famous $1 hot dogs, served all day, every Saturday. And don't forget, tomorrow is cheesesteak day for all the NFL and Eagles games. And don't forget to visit their tavern, the Pocono Room, or their heated outdoor patio. Also, check their social media for live music, monthly paint nights, cornhole, and other events. Puss in Boots also offers on-premise and off-premise catering for any events. Puss in Boots Tavern, a landmark like the 1974 Falcons here in Fairless Hills at 942 Trenton Road. And this is the Trentonian pregame show. Don't forget, you can read about this game in tomorrow's editions of the Trentonian and also online at Trentonian.com. And opening kickoff as we get ready for it is presented by the Revere Restaurant at 802 River Road in nearby Ewing Township. From Mulberry Street up in New York to Little Italy in South Philly at 10th and Catherine, you don't have to go to those places, because right here in your own backyard, you talk about 1974, the original owners of the Revere, the Petrangeli family, their sons played on these Pennsbury football teams in that era, and they're still supporting the Falcons today. Although they don't own it, the lineage of their heritage lives strong today with outstanding, great food, Italian fare second to none. Try their fresh-cut veal chops or their homemade pasta dishes with their gravies that corner every pasta dish made simmering all day long, to grace your pasta dishes, the complimentary Hoboken bread. They got it all. The Revere, open 7 days a week, 802 River Road in nearby Ewing Township, New Jersey. And on behalf of the Revere, here for your play-by-play of this afternoon's game is a man who is as vintage as the voice of the Falcons, Chris Ermer.
Thanks so much, Bill. Great to have you with us, and great to be here overlooking Falcon Field and getting everyone set for some high school football on a big noon Saturday. Right now, captains out there for the coin flip: Walker Murray, Rocco May, Uriah Smart, Chris Karamis representing the Pennsbury Falcons out there for Central Bucks. You got Bowen Beckett out there along with Mishewski. And we'll see how this game gets underway.
This game has a big game feel to it. The weather, it's a pink out. The 1974 legends in the house. You even have Bill Render opening the broadcast for us. It just got that big game feel, and it is a huge game for Pennsbury.
And homecoming, so
homecoming
it's
as well.
Got that added to it. And it will be the Pennsbury Falcons to receive the opening kickoff today. Central Bucks South winning the coin flip, and they'll defer to the second half. So Falcons with it first, and the Falcons are led by DK, their quarterback who had his debut last week, David Kane. And for Pennsbury, of course, it's the ground and pound attack. But Ben, the Falcons have been beset by injuries, especially along the offensive line. And last week, they lost another player at the center spot and going to have that next man up attitude.
Yeah, I heard the news, and I felt so bad for Spence. My guy, heard he broke his arm, but, you know, like you said, next man up mentality. And it's going to be interesting to see how this offensive line goes about. They've been so successful in the year, having so many performances for their running backs, getting them over 100 yards game in and game out. So
along that line, they're going to turn to a sophomore, Gus.
Yeah, it'll be Jimmy Coons, sophomore, filling in for Grimm. And it just feels like at this point, this center position for Pennsbury has to have some sort of curse to it. Last year, you saw the injury to Rocco May at center. You've seen you've seen a guy leave, and then you saw another injury. So now it's their fourth center in the past 2 seasons, and hopefully that's it.
All right, back deep to receive is Brensinger. He's going to let that one skip into the end zone for a touchback, and that's how we get this one going. 1st and 10 for the Pennsbury Falcons from their own 20.
In 1974, the Pennsbury football team always played on Saturday afternoons here at Falcon Field. So how apropos is that honor them, and it's a Saturday afternoon game.
I mean, do you remember when they got the lights? That was such a big controversy here in the area. The Falcons always played on Saturday, and then eventually we moved to Friday night lights, and I think that wasn't until the 90s, though, that they got the lights going. As we get this one going, David Kane under center. Walker Murray goes in motion across the formation, and Kane will roll out and pass. Hits Caden Brown, and Caden Brown with a first down. He's pushed out of bounds across the field up near the 35-yard line.
Caden Brown last week, 165 yards on the ground, and now gets it going in the air.
Yeah, a 14-yard pickup and a Pennsbury Falcon first down, and, well, maybe we're not going to see so much ground and pound. I mean, on first play from scrimmage, the Falcons take to the air. That's
crazy to see that for this Pennsbury Falcon team. The first play is a roll out and pass.
Not what you would expect from a Galen Snyder-led Pennsbury Falcon football team. And now Kane under center. He'll flip it out to Brensinger, trying to get to the edge, cuts it upfield up to the 40, and he will fall forward across the 40-yard line to the 41. And that is a 7-yard pickup.
Well, that just shows you if you can get the passing game established, they're going to have to worry about that. So those kind of plays, the chip outs, the tosses, stuff like that, they work even better with the blocking and everything.
Actually, they'll say it's an 8-yard gain. So 2nd and 2 now for the Falcons. Brensinger out there again. Walker goes in motion. The give up the gut to Caden Brown, and he's going to keep those feet going, keep the legs churning, and pick up another Pennsbury Falcon first down, 4-yard pickup for Caden Brown on the ground. And the Falcons on the move up to the 46-yard line. Just underway today, down to the 11-minute mark in the first quarter. McCaffrey's game of the day on BCB. McCaffrey's Food Market's exceptional every day. Back out to Brensinger on the edge, and he gets flattened. That was Jim Wade, one of the guys who came out to represent this CB South team, one of their captains, with a big hit, brings up 2nd and 8.
Yeah, you could hear that from up here, a hard collision.
So it is not Jimmy Coons behind at center now. It is Uriah Smart, the 5'10", 240 senior, is snapping the ball today for the Falcons.
And Uriah Smart, formerly at the guard spot, so the Falcons really requiring some versatility along that line. Give up the middle to Caden Brown, and nothing there for him. Jack Bartolio, the junior, gets in his face and brings him down for no gain.
Bartolio looked like he just got shot out of a cannon. Came out of absolutely nowhere and got a huge blow-up tackle.
So Falcons with a couple of first downs to start this drive, but now looking at 3rd and long. And the Titans trying to get off the field. Here as Kane will roll to the near side, throw the football a little bit too high off the hand of Caden Brown. Try to run the same thing, this time to the other side of the field, but this one's incomplete. Brings up 4th and 8. There is a CB South Titan shaken up, so an injury timeout on the field.
No flash, just work. That's what Perry Warren does as your state representative for the 31st District in Harrisburg. Perry Warren brings home results that help the people of Lower Makefield, Newtown, Upper Makefield, and Yardley, and our Pennsbury and Council Rock school districts. Perry works with both Democrats and Republicans to write and pass legislation that improves everyday life here at home. He currently serves on the Insurance, Judiciary, Transportation, and Commerce Committees. He wrote and introduced the bill that ended child marriage in Pennsylvania. Perry is a leader on gun safety legislation, authorized the bills to reduce flood insurance costs and environmental waste. Folks, it's no flash, just work. That's Perry Warren, your state representative.
Eddie Bowen was the player shaken up for CB South, but he was able to get to his feet, run over to the far sideline, and now Chris Karamis will try the punt, but the snap too high goes off of his hand. He's able to pick it up and then is spilled at the 20-yard line. A big special teams play for the CB South Titans, and no chance there for Karamis. That one way too high for him to, fortunately he was able to just tip it, so it didn't even go further back. But CB South set up now, 1st and 10 on the Pennsbury 20.
That was unfortunate. Not what you want to do to start the game after going out on offense, and now you have this super dangerous Titan offense at your 20.
Yeah, and against a good team, you just cannot afford those types of mistakes. Braylon Cape in the backfield with Owen Pinkerton. And the quarterback from the gun gives to Cape. Cape trying to bounce it to the outside, and he's not going to get out there because Boo Boo Pelham is there.
Boo Boo.
And the center, or excuse me, the senior with a tackle for loss. And they mark him back 4 yards, so 2nd and 14.
2nd down and 24. Nope, 2nd down and 14.
Well, Ben, you mentioned this game has big game atmosphere, and it feels like both of these teams are really coming out with physicality, some hard hitting out there. Pinkerton now with a near side wing will put Cape in motion, fake the give, and it's a quarterback keeper up the gut, and Pinkerton weaving through traffic. He picks up about 12. And he has been dangerous. Mentioned a dual threat. Pinkerton has gained 518 yards on the ground, and he's also passed for 694. You add that all up, that's more than 1,200 yards so far over these first 5 games, and he gives his team a good situation here with a 3rd and short. From the 12. Pinkerton again takes the snap, sees a hole up the middle, and he's got a Central Bucks South Titan 1st down. They keep him out of the end zone, but they're down to the 1-yard line, 1st and goal.
We said he's a dual threat. He's showing it right here.
I'll tell you, that offensive line for the Titans is a beefy, heavy line. They are some big players out there.
And trying to use that beef to push their way into the end zone from the 1-yard line. Pinkerton here in the pistol. Hands off to Gavin Graham, who's into the end zone for a 1-yard touchdown strike. And CB South striking first. They take advantage of a bad snap on the punt. And they're up 6-0 with 7:33 to go, first quarter.
Yeah, like Bill was saying, just the big, beefy lineman up front, just able to clear a path for him.
Yeah, and the other thing, the vision of Owen Pinkerton with his ability to find some running lanes, got them right to the doorstep. And now the extra point goes banging off the upright, no good. So we come back up the field with the score 6-0 with 7:33 to go in the first quarter. Titans in front of the Falcons.
Say, folks, have you tried that new Italian restaurant, Amori's, yet? I'll tell you, people are flocking there and are getting rave refuse. It's right here near Pennsbury High School, opposite the baseball field at 8630 New Falls Road. This new Italian family restaurant offers fine dining right here in your own backyard. Affordable prices with cuisine to rival any Center City restaurant. Appetizers like mussels and clams to entrees like their homemade pasta dishes, including a fettuccine seafood extravaganza tossed with fresh fish, veal dishes, steaks, pork chops, so much more. Right here in Levittown, Amore Restaurant is open for lunch and dinner Tuesday through Sunday, 11 a.m. till 9 p.m., Fridays and Saturdays till 10 p.m. Amore, the newest first-class Italian restaurant in Fairless Hills.
Adis Formilio with the kickoff, taken inside the 5 by Brensinger. Jordan Brensinger out to the 20-25-yard line, working that far sideline, and they'll push him out of bounds at the 35. So a decent return. Falcons set up with a 1st and 10 from their own 35.
Good return there by Brensinger. It looked like he had a couple Falcons in front of him flocking away, getting that flying V going.
All right, Falcons back to work. David Kane under center with Brown and Brensinger in the backfield, and Kane rolling out, looking to throw. Doesn't have a target, and he's going to have to tuck it and work his way out to the sideline. Pick up a couple of yards, 2nd and 8.
So there's a flag on the play. See what it
We'll
is.
see what this is. A hold on the Pennsbury Falcons. So some changes for the Falcons along their offensive line, but we mentioned the big guys for CB South. It's Dylan Montero, Elliot Francesco, Nick Majewski, who was one of their captains, Tom McDonald, and Matt Offner along the offensive line, helping to get the push for the sophomore Gavin Graham to get into the end zone.
Forget this is the McCaffrey's game of the day. McCaffrey's Supermarket, a great experience every single day.
And for Graham, that's his 4th TD of the season. Kane gives on a little bit of a delay to Caden Brown, but there's nothing there for the Pennsbury Falcon running back as he's brought down by Brandon Zubik. And Brown still down. An injury timeout on the field comes with 6:48 to go as one of the Pennsbury Falcons shaken up.
And don't forget the Coaches Roundtable show, video streamed live every Wednesday night right here in Langhorne at Sandy's Beef and Ale, and brought to you by Lower Bucks Hospital. Since 1954, Lower Bucks Hospital has supported the youth of our community, and also brought to you in part by Fella Auto Group on Route 13 in Bristol. Hey, mention the Coaches Roundtable and you get $250 off any car. Just mention the Coaches Roundtable and you'll get $250 off right off the bat at Fellow Auto Group. Today's game is also brought to you in part by Team Toyota, Business Route 1, Langhorne, Pennsylvania. Team Toyota, the #1 team on Business Route 1 in Langhorne. And today's game also brought to you by the Johnson Chiropractic Center, 175 South Main Street in Yardley. Dr. Rob Johnson, taking care of your physical health.
Yeah, we got a real slobber knocker showdown of our own here, as it's a hard-hitting game. It was Caden Brown who was down, the injured guy. As they get back to it, they'll flip it out to Brensinger. Falcons behind the sticks there after the holding call. It was a 2nd and 20, and not much gain there as to get it up to about the 30-yard line. Still brings up 3rd and long here for the Pennsbury Falcons. A 3rd and 16. And Ben, we've seen them go to a couple of rollout throws for David Kane, but the more the Titans see that play, it seems like the more they are ready for it.
Yeah, typically with this Pennsbury offense, that's not what you're going to expect. First play may throw them in a loop, like what the heck is going on here? They're throwing the ball now, but now they saw it, they know how to expect it, and that's what good teams do.
And there they try to give it to the second guy through, Jordan Brensinger. But the Titans bring him down for no gain. So on 4th and long, again, Chris Karamis comes out to punt.
Well, hopefully this one goes better than last time. A high snap from Tyler Hobson threw some things in a loop. Now they're way back in their own territory, so if that happens again, bad things could ensue. But hopefully it doesn't.
Back to receive the kick is Danny Geis. Yeah, better long snap. The key here is they do get it right to Karamis. And he's got such a good leg. A spiraling punt that comes down at the 18-yard line, is picked up inside the 15, and Ray Vereen is there as the Pennsbury Falcon gunner prevents any kind of return.
My goodness, what a heck of a punt there by Karamis.
Talk about flipping the field.
Yeah, able to really turn that ball over, get it looking like a spiral, and had the fantastic bounce. Man, if that player for South didn't pick that up, that could have rolled all the way down to the 5 or maybe even the 1.
Well, Coach Crocker loves the kicking game that this Pennsbury Falcon team has. We mentioned Pereira getting the field goal to win it last week, and Karamis has been great with those big kicks throughout the season. So they pin the Titans back to their own 15-yard line. Pinkerton, hands off, Cape, pushes forward. And you're just getting some good movement up front that allows Cape to pick up 7 yards on 1st down, 2nd and 3. Last night we were over in Morrisville for their homecoming game. Ben Salem with a big homecoming win. They beat Council Rock South last night. So 2nd and 2 here. Pinkerton from the gun gives a clap on the keeper, crosses the 25, and depending on where they mark it, that ought to be a Titan 1st down.
Yeah, I think they're giving it to him.
And it is 1st and 10 for the Titans, and you see the damage being done by Owen Pinkerton.
Can we get a word on how big Pinkerton is? I don't have the roster in front of me.
Yeah, Pinkerton, 5'10", 185.
Okay.
Seems bigger than that.
Yeah.
Just the way he runs and commands himself, he seems like a thick, big boy.
1st and 10 from the 25, fakes the give. He's going to go the other way. Ray Vereen is out there, forcing him out of bounds just across the 30-yard line to the 31.
He's certainly running like a big boy. Another good big run for Pinkerton.
Yeah, they'll say he was out of bounds at the 30, so a 5-yard pickup for Owen Pinkerton, 2nd and 5.
You got Nathan Kazimirowski and William Spadacino, 245 and 270 on that offensive line, and they are throwing some blocks.
Those are some big boys.
I forget who it is. I think it's Ross Tucker. Somebody, they call those big linemen hobgoblins.
Seems like a Ross Tucker kind of thing.
Yeah.
Everyone's
Falcons come across. Yeah, offside is going to be the call. And for the Falcons, you look at their defensive line, and one of the things, they don't have a ton of size, a lot of strength, power there with Liam Davis and Andrew Dale, Chris Karamis, great athletes, really strong, powerful guys, but they're not that hobgoblin kind of body type that Ross Tucker would.
Yeah, it's somebody, but they're the big, beefy men, that hobgoblins.
Yeah. Well, I mean, for years, when it was the old Washington Redskins, they were the Hogs up there. Now pistol formation for the Titans. Play action. Pinkerton downfield looking for Geis, and incomplete. Just a little bit out of reach for the intended target, Sean Beatty, there defensively for the Falcons.
Picks up 2nd down and 10 from their own 35-yard line.
Could have been dangerous there. We had a Pennsbury guy near him, but was winning the foot race. Probably would have gotten the end zone there, but a little bit overthrown by Pinkerton.
Yeah, if he took just a little bit off that one, could have been a huge connection. And one of the things the Falcons have been caught by this season are some of those deep passes. 2nd and 10 now after the incompletion, 2:59 to go, first quarter. And they'll give the football to Gavin Graham, the guy who got him in the end zone. But this time, not much there, just a yard for Graham.
And I think Pennsbury might have gotten away with one. It looks like one of their defensive linemen might have jumped a little offside before the snap. May have timed it perfectly, but it looked like from up here it was a little early, but Pennsbury getting away with one.
I mean, it seems like that. Yeah, keep it quiet there, Gus.
Yeah. I got to keep the integrity of the game.
Yeah, it does seem like trying to get that jump is a big priority for the Falcons against this big offensive line. 3rd and 9, and Pinkerton will drop the throw. Chased by Bagley, gets the throw off, and it's incomplete. Looking for Geis, but he was running for his life because Luke Bagley was tracking him down from behind, and so he really couldn't get anything on that throw. Brings up 4th and long and forces the Titans to kick.
He had a Henry Garlitz near him, too, in that new whip position. Yeah, so pressure from some sophomores.
So Cade Krim out to kick. Brensinger back to receive the punt. And Krim with an end-over-end kick that goes over to the far side of the field. Takes a nice bounce right into the arms of Brensinger. Brensinger turns it upfield. He takes it right into the chest of Javin Koob, who makes the play. And 1st and 10 for the Pennsbury Falcons as they take over at the 34-yard line.
Kramer's Bakery right there in the heart of Yardley since 1947. Baking things great 7 days a week. It's an institution in Bucks County. Kramer's Bakery, there's no better way to start your day. Homemade pies and cakes that rival any, even restaurants. Use Kramer's baked goods for their desserts. Fresh bread and rolls every day, but their pies and cakes and donuts are all baked every day, fresh, right there on the premises at Kramer's Bakery in Yardley.
Falcons from their own 35-yard line. Kane gives to Brown. And Caden Brown, I mean, one thing that Brown has shown is that he will continue to push to finish a play, make sure he gets every bit of yardage he can.
Yeah, Brown refuses to go down.
Yes.
Very typical with him, and tried it again there.
What can Brown do for you? 2nd and 6 now for the Pennsbury Falcons. Flipping it out to Brensinger. Nice job gathering that one in, but then he's brought down by Brandon Zubik. Zubik with the shoestring tackle. A small gain up to the 39. And 3rd and 5 for Pennsbury. Boy, big difference, Gus, from last night when you look at the fact that we're down to the 1 minute mark of the first quarter. Last night's Morrisville game, just that first quarter seemed to last forever.
It was like an hour, 15-minute first quarter.
They really took it to Renaissance Academy throughout the game, but a big, quick start for the Morrisville Bulldogs in that one here. A quick handoff to Caden Brown, and Brown to the 41. But that's going to bring the Pennsbury Falcons up short by 3 yards. And now they're looking at a 4th down and decision time for Coach Snyder, and he's going to send Chris Karamis back out to try to kick it away.
Well, 3 drives, 3 punts for the Falcons. As they're now
I believe they're going to let the rest of this time just come off the clock. We're going to come to the end of the first quarter here as the Pennsbury Falcons let the final 10 seconds go. And when we get back to it, we expect to see a Chris Karamis punt here on 4th down. It's high school football on WBCB. Titans in front, 6-0.
Yardley Pharmacy and Supply. Let me tell you about Brian down there at Yardley Pharmacy. He is the owner, pharmacist on the premises all the time. You folks need a prescription filled, and at last minute, Brian will accommodate you. You need it delivered in the general Yardley area, Brian will accommodate you. you need service or you got an emergency, Brian will do his best to get that prescription in your hands. And folks, I want to tell you, no matter where you get your prescription, it's going to cost the same. But you aren't going to get the service that Brian Rogers at Yardley Pharmacy and Supply gives you. He is hands-on. It's not part of a chain where you see a pharmacist 1 month and they're gone the next month. This man his living is right there at Yardley Pharmacy. He's going to go out of his way to make sure all your prescriptions and your pharmaceutical needs are met in a timely, prompt fashion. Yardley Pharmacy and Supply.
All right, 4th and 3, and Karamis will let this one go, and it's another big spiraling kick. Comes down around the 17 and takes a hop inside the 5. This time Geis makes one man miss, but the other coverage team members get to him and tackle him at the 5-yard line. So CB South with a long way to go on this drive as they begin at their own 5.
After an
tackle made by Sean Schuster. Excuse me, Ben.
Yeah, after a really early Pennsbury special teams mishap, miscue, they've come back, and these punts have been really good. Great tackles as well, and these special teams right now are really helping Pennsbury out.
Well, so far we have a defensive battle. The only score coming off of a short field that the Pennsbury Falcons gave to the Titans after, as Ben mentioned, a bad special teams play with a high snap on their first punt. There, Chris Karamis making the tackle up at the 10, a 5-yard gain. As Braylon Cape, another sophomore, picking up 4 on that give. Coming up for the Pennsbury Falcons, CB West next week. Their 3rd home game in a row, all against these Central Bucks teams. The Bucks beating Neshaminy in action on WBCB last night. There is Cape. Cape with running room up across the 30-yard line, but you look back, and there's a flag down in the backfield. And I think this one's coming back. Looked like a big pickup for the Titans, but it's a holding penalty.
Philly Sports reports a new era of Philly sports media with Ben Goldstein, PSR. Folks, get all your sports needs on a daily basis. So what are you on there every day, Ben? Or
very often, every single day. Articles, social media, we're everywhere. Podcasts as well. Go check us out. Appreciate it, Bill.
No problem. Go to it. Philly Sports Reports, a new era in Philly sports media. And the new era in saving is right there at a Chance to Save Bargain Outlet, a convenience store where prices always going up. Visit this great new store, Chance to Save Bargain Outlet, near Pennsbury High School. Hundreds of daily grocery items, including cereal, fresh fruit, vegetables, snacks, pet food, so much more at a fraction of a supermarket price. Chance to Save Bargain Outlet, New Falls Road, Fairless Hills.
All right, after the holding penalty, 2nd and 11 for the Titans, and Owen Pinkerton clapping for the football, tries to quarterback keeper, but runs right into the arms of Chris Karamis. He does gain a few yards up to the 10. Give him a 4-yard pickup. And now 3rd and 7. Big play as this one has turned into a defensive struggle, and the Pennsbury Falcons could force the Titans to kick.
A quick unfootball note. There's a Chick-fil-A stand on the opposing side. Does that mean that Central Bucks South brought their own concessions?
I don't know.
You know you're good when you got Chick-fil-A come with you. Uh-oh.
Oh, Pinkerton was not ready for that snap, and the play goes nowhere.
They may have been thinking about Chick-fil-A too much.
I think they might have been distracted with your comments.
Just put it out there.
But I think actually the center was on a different snap count from everybody else. So he gave the football to Pinkerton.
Hey,
nobody was ready for it.
That happens even in the NFL. You see that to this day.
So now on 4th and 8. They will kick it away. Brensinger at the Titan 45. Looking to set the Falcons up with great field position. It's a high but very short kick. Comes down near the 25-yard line and will take a bounce up to the 34. But now the Falcons with a short field. See if they can take advantage of this. They're trailing 6-0 in the McCaffrey's game of the night, game of the day. We're here in the afternoon. That's kind of weird, but it's homecoming Saturday, and great to have you with us on WBCB.
Also honoring the 1974 undefeated state champs Pennsbury. We'll be talking to John Horowitz, defensive player from that Falcon undefeated state championship team, at halftime.
We also got the homecoming court coming up at halftime as well.
Kane under center. They give right up the gut to Caden Brown. Again, trying to soften up that middle. I mean, that's the formula for Pennsbury. Stay with it. Continue to work that ground attack.
Rocco May was slow to get up right there, kind of limping a little bit. That's not good.
They did pick up one tough yard for Brown. Yeah, especially on an offensive line that has been decimated.
And let's not forget,
they cannot afford.
Rocco May is coming back from a major ankle leg injury. So to see him limping, not sure exactly which leg was injured and which one is, hurting him right now, but that could be a big storyline going ahead.
Yeah, he's a little gimpy getting back to the line as Kane sets him down, fakes the give, play action pass, and he hits Ciola at the 25-yard line. Ciola goes out of bounds. He's going to be just short of a Pennsbury Falcon first down as he goes out at the 26-yard line. But another nice throw by David Kane.
Yeah, nice throw by Kane. And Dante Ciola is a really dangerous option on offense for these Falcons. He's not getting as much as you would think, but when he gets his call, he answers it. And he answered it right there with another good catch and big play.
What a beautiful throw there by David Kane, too. Just putting it on the money, a little out route, cornerback on him. That's a hard throw to make, and he made it look easy.
And the Falcons take timeout. 8:22 to go, second quarter. They want to talk it over here before they see what they're going to do on 3rd and 2.
D. Lorenzo's, the Berg Pizza at 8919 New Falls Road, Levittown, owned and operated by third-generation family member Tyler D. Lorenzo. Folks, Tyler uses that exact same recipe that his great-grandparents did back in Trenton's famous Chambersburg section back in the 40s. Try the only original Trenton tomato pie in Fairless Hills, Levittown, or all over, and their other gourmet pizzas too, including their mustard pie. Remember when you got that at Schuster's? You're talking about a great mustard pie from Schuster's back in the day over there in the Berg. Well, Tyler has it right here in Fairless Hills today. That mustard pie is great. Tyler D. Lorenzo, the Berg Pizza, also does catering for all affairs, and they're there in the Vermilion Square, 8919 New Falls Road, open Tuesday through Thursday, and closed on Mondays, and they're also open Saturdays and Sundays.
All right, Falcons out of the timeout, give to Caden Brown, and Brown over the 25. He falls forward and depends on where they mark it. I think he got it.
I think they're going to mark him a little short, though.
They put the football just across the 25-yard line, and they bring up, they say it's 4th down, 4th and inches. Now, this probably is within range for Pereira, but with just inches to go, Snyder keeps the offense out there. And on the quarterback sneak,
I don't think he got it.
David Kane trying to get the push. And again, depends on where they mark the football. The far side official where he was coming in to put the football down, I think that's going to be at the 24.
Oh, it's going to be close.
And they will bring out the sticks. And a measurement coming up, an official's timeout on the field. And Gus, you're right. That is going to be extremely close from what it appears. Tough for us to get the perspective with the sticks on the far side of the field, but obviously the officials feel like it's too close to call. I heard in the NFL they're going to be moving to like a laser measurement system.
Which that'll be interesting. They kind of use that now with like the tennis and everything like that. So
this way,
as long as it's not a paper card.
That way they don't have to bring the sticks out, and they stretch it, and the Falcons did not get it. A turnover on downs. The Titans stop them on 4th and inches.
That's tough.
And you go back to what we've been talking about the big guys for CB South. Right there, they win that little battle. McCaffrey's game of the night on WBCB. Great to have you with us, Chris Ermer, Bill Redner, Gus Barber, and Ben Goldstein from Fairless Hills, PA.
Looks like the cheerleaders are about to launch some shirts. You think they can get one up here? Yo! Top of the press box!
Are they throwing them out there?
No,
They got like a launcher. Oh, that wasn't very good. I don't think that thing can reach all the way up here.
Pinkerton from the gun fakes the handoff. He's got a little running room to the outside. Walker Murray brings him down, but Pinkerton picking up 13 more yards and another CB South first down.
Pinkerton can really run. 5'10". I don't remember the exact weight.
185.
185. I mean, that's not huge, but he's running like kind of like how Galamama Moba did. That kind of reminded me of how he ran back a few years ago, just running right through guys. A big run for Pinkerton. We've seen that all season with him.
I mean, that run reminded me of what we saw from Ray Holman last night for the Morrisville Bulldogs.
Yes.
And he had a heck of a night, 3 touchdowns in that game. And
On
is
4
one of
carries.
the top rushers in the state of Pennsylvania. He had just 4 touches. This time, Cape with the handoff. Cape gets to the outside and up to the 45-yard line. And there again, you see good execution for the Titans to move guys off their spot and allow that running back to pick up a good chunk. 7 yards there, 2nd and 3. Got it up to their own 45 as we get down near the 6.5-minute mark of the first half. Empty backfield for Pinkerton. Now he'll move Cape over into the formation, and he'll bounce it to the outside, dance along the sideline, pick up another Titan first down.
Oh, here we go. Here's another T-shirt. Yo! I'm waving my arms. I don't think they see me. Oh, it's right here. Come on.
Ray Vereen with the tackle.
Oh.
They want to give it to the fans, Ben, not somebody who's...
I'm a fan. I'm a student. I know Gus wants a shirt. I know he's waving his arms down there.
I can't fit in those shirts probably. I'm fat.
The Titans on the move. Now into the Pennsbury side of the field. Pinkerton from the pistol. Hands off to Cape. And Cape brought down by Karamis. Fired up a little bit. No, we saw a really energetic defense against that CB East team. I don't know if you remember, Ben, how they were...
Yeah. They were fired up.
Karamis especially had a certain energy last week. And right there, I mean, he's coming up with some big plays. So you don't see him talking as much, but he's doing maybe more.
Yeah, there may have been... I don't know if anything, but there may have been something personal or with a teammate or something that could have been with CB East. Don't quote me on it, but it's possible.
Again, from the gun, Pinkerton had 2 guys right in his face and incomplete.
Walker Murray and Liam Davis went right through that beefy Titan line and were all over Pinkerton.
And Liam Davis was our guest at the Coaches Roundtable show this Wednesday, and he's got a cast on his, I think it's his right hand.
Yeah, it's like a, if you look at it, it's like a hammer on his right arm. So, I mean, if he gets a sack, I mean, it's hammer time for Liam Davis.
I mean, he looks like he's got a club, but at the same time, you're playing out there with a broken bone, and he was saying that he was feeling some pain, and they finally got the cast on him a couple of weeks ago. Pinkerton, with the quarterback keeper, slips a tackle, puts his hand down, stays on his feet, and picks up another Titan first down. Great individual effort there by the Titan QB. Looked like he was going down, puts the hand down, stays up, and gets a few more yards to move the sticks.
Yeah, what a tough run there by him. Shaking off a couple guys, staying up, keeping his balance. He is a playmaker that Pennsbury is having trouble with.
And so far in this first half, this is the best sustained drive for either team. Titans up to the 33-yard line. Hand off to Graham. And Graham runs into Liam Davis over there, who brings him down. Boy, the other guy that we mentioned last week, Jake Birkenstam, and I think he had a separated shoulder, Ben.
Yeah, it was something like that. I don't
Got
remember.
banged up
I don't think I heard exactly what the injury was, but it was ugly.
And unfortunately, he's
and
not out there.
Yeah, it looks
today.
like Hex Walker, who filled in for him last week and is still filling in for him this week on the line.
2nd and 8 now. Geis in the motion. They fake the pitch. It's another keeper for Pinkerton, and it's Hex Walker who makes the tackle.
There he is, the Hex man.
Up to the 28. And a big 3rd down here. Probably 4-down territory for Coach Hetrick and his Titans. But a negative play here, incompletion, gonna force a tough decision, I think.
As you can hear, the wind starting to pick up.
Pinkerton in the backfield with Cape and hands the football off to his running back, Braylon Cape. And Cape keeps the legs churning, gets to the 25, runs into a pile of Pennsbury defenders, and that does bring up 4th and short. So 4th and 2 from the 25. And a pretty easy decision for Coach Hetrick.
Yeah, the way Pinkerton's been running, just let him take it himself at this point, which I wouldn't be surprised if that's the play call.
And the other thing with the QB, he can kind of see where he wants to run, figure out where there's a lane or a hole. 4th and 2 from the gun. Pinkerton calling for it, and he muffs the snap, comes down, picks it up, and the Falcons with a loss on the play. Ryan Root-Costa was one of the first guys there. Hex Walker also in the mix.
Yeah, well, you're starting to see the conditions come into play as you see all the wetness, the rain, the mist, everything coming into play as that ball, probably a little wet, goes just right through the hands of Pinkerton. And the only thing you can do there is just pick up the ball, go down. Hopefully the Pennsbury doesn't pick it up and take it to the crib.
The Barber of the Stars is Yardley Family Haircutters right there on East Afton Avenue in Yardley. Dave Wells has been around forever, cutting people's hair and making them look great. The Barber of the Stars, Dave Wells at Yardley Family Haircutters.
Yeah, Titans were on the move, and the drive slips through their fingers as the quarterback can't hold on to it. Now David Kane rolling to the near side, was going to throw that one, and Walker makes the grab, but he's out of bounds.
Oh.
There's just no more room right there, and Kane was waiting for Walker to be open and waited a little bit too long. So 2nd and 10, clock stopped with 2:01 to go remaining in the first half of play.
Would have been a heck of a play by Kane to roll out and find him. A nice catch by Walker Murray, but unfortunately took too long to develop.
Well, that's the way they are utilizing David Kane is that they don't want him to sit in the pocket. They like him rolling out to one side or the other and seeing what kind of targets might be out there for him. On 2nd and 10, they try to go up the gut with Caden Brown, and he's dropped at the line of scrimmage. Gavin Graham is there. They will say pick up 1 yard, 3rd and 9 from the 32. And timeout on the field taken by the Titans with 1:54 to go here in the second quarter.
More than securing your home or business, BAI Security, the locally owned and operated security company, offers personal service and quality in security solutions, including security services for your pets. BAI Security also services fire extinguishers, including inspections. All BAI employees have thorough background checks, including criminal, civil, motor motor vehicle. Also drug testing. For complete 24/7 security for your home or business, including your pets, call BAI Security. 215-493-1414. That's 215-493-1414. Or visit BAInow.com. Don't forget you can read about this game in the Trentonian. And don't forget the Revere Restaurant, 802 River Road in nearby Ewing Township, New Jersey. Proud to be on part of our high school football games on both sides of the river. The Revere. For reservations, call them at 609-882-6365.
All right, Falcons in danger of giving the football right back if they can't get something going on 3rd and 9, and they opt to give it to Brensinger. Brensinger trying to bounce it to the outside, but he's brought down by senior Jim Wade. Short gain, shy of the 35-yard line. Falcons up to the 34. And another timeout taken by the Titans as they try to hold on to as much clock as they can. 1:44 remaining. And when we get back to it, Falcons will send Chris Karamis out there to kick it away.
Senator Steve Sanacero proudly serving the 10th Senatorial District and proudly supporting today's football game as a public service to the community. Senator Sanacero supports the youth of our community, tomorrow's future leaders. Steve himself was a former teacher and is a leader in education, along with infrastructure, environment, women's health issues, and gun violence protection in the 10th Senatorial District. If your school would like the tour of the Capitol in Harrisburg, contact Steve's offices at SenatorSteveSanacero.com. That's SenatorSteveSanacero.com. He hopes you enjoy today's game.
Karamis ready to kick it away. This time a low line drive kick comes down at the 30 and skips across the 25 and is still rolling down to the 10-yard line, and Parada will pick it up there. 1st and 10 for the Central Bucks South Titans, and a long way to go with 1:33 remaining in the first half. Boy, a great job. Another field flipping kick by Chris Karamis as he totally changes the field position and pins deep this Titan team.
All 4 Pennsbury drives have ended in Chris Karamis punts, and other than the first one, they've all been really good, helping out this defense a lot, and kind of could be saving a lot of points for Central Bucks South, setting them up in bad territory.
Today's game also brought to you by Seoka Ford Lincoln, just 20 short minutes from Business Route 1 in Langhorne.
From the gun, Pinkerton going to look for a lane, and there's whatever was there is not there for long, as the short gain up to the 16-yard line, up to the 14. Meanwhile, I don't think that the Titans, with this spot on the field, are not going to be feeling like they need to get something going real quick. I think they want to take up the rest of this time as we get down under the 1-minute mark. This time they do spread him out. 4 receivers for Pinkerton in this formation. And he's got some time. Looks downfield. Has to get rid of it. Bagley pressures him. It's complete to Danny Geis. And then Geis tackled on the play by Garlitz. But it's enough for a Titan first down.
Folks, there is an alternative to Ford Sales and Service. It's right there on Business Route 1 in Lawrenceville. Jim Catucci at Seoka Ford Lincoln.
Down to the half-minute mark, and Pinkerton trying to hit Braylon Cape. But the Falcons are there. Ryan Rucosta out there defensively. Incompletion stops the clock with just over 30 seconds remaining. 30.5 on the clock. One of the members of the 74 team that was honored before the game, the undefeated state championship team, John Horowitz, going to join us at halftime. We'll also have the performance of the Long Orange Line and the homecoming activities and ceremonies.
The Royals.
We got a lot for you at halftime and got a good game going. I mean, with the exception of that one bad snap, neither team really can get much going. A keeper by Pinkerton, and brought down by Boo Boo Pelham after an 8-yard pickup. Meanwhile, down near the 10-second mark, maybe time for one more play. Pinkerton will throw over the middle off the hand of his intended target, Dan McCusker. And McCusker had a lot of turf in front of him. If he could have been hit in stride, that could have been a big play, but the incompletion stops the clock. 7 seconds left in the half, and likely this is going to be the last play of the first half for CB South. Only score so far today going to Gavin Graham, the sophomore, with a 1-yard touchdown run. And here, third and 2. And Pinkerton on the keeper picks up the first down. And whistles blow, stopping the clock with 1.6. And I don't know, did somebody call a timeout?
I believe so.
Or once they reset the sticks, are they going to wind the clock? No, timeout taken by the Titans with just 2 seconds left here in the first half of play.
And I'm going to be talking with John Horowitz, who was a defensive tackle for the 1974 state champion Pennsbury Falcons at halftime. But I want to tell you about Sioka Ford Lincoln in Bucks County. Folks, there is an alternative to Route 1 in Langhorne. Jim Catucci, he's a Lower Bucks guy. He's been around. You know him. You know he's going to come through for you with sales and service. And he was glad to support our Lower Bucks County schools. My God, he attended these schools. He knows you, and he knows to provide you with a Sioka difference. Discover it for yourself at Sioka Ford Lincoln, right there, Business Route 1 in Lawrenceville, right near the Quaker Bridge Mall. Sioka has a better selection of Fords and trucks, cars, SUVs, and Lincolns. He has far superior financing options and will give you the greatest value for your trade-in than anybody in Langhorne. Sioka Ford Lincoln, Business Route 1, Lawrenceville, New Jersey. They're right there. They're small enough to know you, big enough to better serve you and support you in the community for the greatest value for your trade-in, all just 20 short minutes from Langhorne. It's Sioka Ford and Lincoln. Stop in and say hello to Jim Catucci.
And before we got back to action, Bill, the Pennsbury Falcons took a timeout. So still just 2 seconds remaining. Time for the Titans to try to put together one more play. This is the McCaffrey's game of the day on BCB. McCaffrey's Food Markets, exceptional every day.
My umbrella just inverted.
Yeah, it's getting a little breezy up there, huh?
Yeah,
we can hear the wind, that's for sure.
What's the deal with the rain, Mr. Meteorologist?
I mean, it's not coming down hard. There's a little bit of a mist. It's just this wind is absolutely horrible. I'll tell you that. This wind sucks. But not that much rain, though, which is good.
All right, 2 seconds to go. Pinkerton with 4 receivers in this formation drops back, and he'll heave this one downfield, and it's picked off. Intercepted by Ryan Costa, and that will bring us to the end of the first half. CB South 6, Pennsbury nothing. It's a homecoming Saturday, and we'll return with halftime activities. Recap first half scoring. Long Orange Line coming up. Homecoming Royals, and we'll talk with John Horowitz, a member of the 74 undefeated 11-0 team that was honored earlier. We're coming right back here to WBCB in just a moment.
Hi, I'm Kevin Nolan from Nolan Painting. We paint over 2,500 homes a year, and as you can see in our reviews, we have lots and lots of satisfied customers. So I always say, if you're not happy, we're not happy. It's because we care so much that we provide 100% customer satisfaction. We're going to put a lot of care and effort in what we do. We're going to do a super neat and clean job. Really, that's been the secret of our success. I don't think there's a company out there that provides better customer service than Nolan Painting. Nolan Painting, improving homes and neighborhoods since 1979.
You know, McCaffrey's Food Market is exceptional every day, and they are proud to serve you since 1986. They're a local hometown business. They support your community, whether it's helping flood victims or holding fundraisers for the American Cancer Society or employing our local high school students. McCaffrey's has always there. They have the finest products, prime cuts of meat, a prepared food department where everything is made fresh daily, and also a fresh seafood department. Visit McCaffrey's Food Market near you in Yardley, Newtown, New Hope, Princeton, West Windsor, Gladwin, and Doylestown. They are exceptional every day, and they are local and proud of it.
This is Tommy Green from the 1993 National League champion Phillies. And here's the pitch. BCWSA water and sewer customers, you have a new and improved option to pay your bill that's convenient, reliable, and secure. Powered by Invoice Cloud, you can pay your bill 24/7 online, pay by text or phone, or sign up for AutoPay to avoid fees for late or missed payments. Visit bcwsa.net to sign up or for more info. That's bcwsa.net. BCWSA, proven.
And welcome back to Pennsbury High School. We're here at the half with the score, Central Bucks South 6, Pennsbury nothing, and we're joined by John Horovitz, the outstanding defensive tackle, and Bob Epperson, the outstanding defensive end for the Pennsbury Falcon 1974 undefeated state champions. And John, welcome back to Fairless Hills as we honor your great achievements from 1974 tutelage, and welcome back.
Well, I got to tell you, it's a pleasure to be back here. The weather has held out, which is good. We got a good game going against a 5-0 team. So yeah, it's been terrific to get back here. We're all surprised. It's been 50 years. It seems like yesterday. We had a pretty magical season back in 1974.
You certainly did, under the legendary late Chuck Kane, who was your coach. And I know it was more than just football on that team. Chuck and that whole coaching staff of Max Mixon, Ron Davidson, Joe Lowe, all of them, they were more than just coaches. They taught you how to behave, and they helped you in your classes and your studies, and they were in the building all the time.
Right.
It was a different era, and Chuck provided a lot of opportunities for his players.
Yeah, he did, and I personally can tell you that he provided me with opportunities, but he was a throwback. I mean, he had the crew cut, he had the short green pants that didn't come down to his socks, the shirt and tie, short sleeves in November weather, and it was a different time. It was discipline, it was respect, pushed us, we pushed each other, and the camaraderie that we had on that team. You can see it here today. We got about 30 guys, and a couple coaches came back for this event, and really lousy weather. And so yeah, it was a special time for us, and we were really, really proud to say that we played for Pennsbury and that we brought the state championship home 50 years ago.
And of course, in those days, you were in the Big 8 conference. It was you and the Chamonix with the two teams from Bethlehem, Freedom and Liberty, Allen and Dira from Allentown, and Easton.
Yeah.
And that was the most premier football league in the state of Pennsylvania during that time frame. And so to win a state championship, to go undefeated, let alone to win a state championship, was quite a feat.
It was, and that was great competition. And we came in and we did our business. We were focused on what we had to do on both sides of the ball. I think our defense gave up average about 6 points a game. Our offense was on fire, just dominating teams on the offensive line, running back, great receivers, great quarterback in Joe Cross. But yeah, it was we'd played in some very, very unfriendly confines in some of those places you mentioned. But I'll never forget, there was an article written about it a few years ago that they were taunting us up in Easton. And after we won a very close, hard-fought battle against those guys, they actually gave us a nice ovation as we left the field. They realized that they'd seen something special, which was, Pennsbury football.
Well, they certainly did. I want to get a few words here with
Sure.
Bob also, who was a defensive end on undefeated state championship team. And you talk about going up to these places like Easton and Bethlehem. I can recall, Bob, like the crowds were enormous, 15,000 fans every Friday.
They were big. They were real big. It was cold, ugly, hostile environment, but like John said, we went up and did our thing, and they respected us for us.
Well, they certainly did. And back in that time, we were mentioning, Chris, this is a rare Saturday afternoon game here at Falcon Field. But back when you guys played, there were all afternoon games, and they were reserved seats.
They were all afternoon games on a Saturday.
Right.
There was no lights. We would like to have the lights, but back in the day, they didn't have that stuff like that.
Right.
It was a good time. The stands were packed. They used to have stands at the end of the end zone. You'd see cars riding around. It's a really nice thing. And I'd like to thank Pennsbury for honoring us. And Jonathan, he did a good job. He got us all together. It's nice that they remember us. It's 50 years later, and they still think about us. It's a good deal. And I'm a community member, so I get to keep an eye on things. It's really nice.
Right. Well, Coach Galen Snyder is trying to bring back the tradition of Pennsbury football, and he's very instrumental in getting Coach Dondella elected to the Pennsbury Hall of Fame. He's working, getting Coach Earl Balger, who was the man who resurrected Pennsbury football. Chuck was an assistant line coach under Earl, and he certainly deserves, long overdue, to be in the Hall of Fame.
Absolutely.
And Galen is, you got to give credit where credit is due. He's trying to bring the tradition of Pennsbury football and honor that tradition.
Absolutely.
So,
He's doing a good job of it, too.
Boy.
We used to watch him up in the booth when he wasn't coaching, and we used to sit there and comment, all us ex-players, it's not going to be long before he wants to get back in the game.
Wow.
You could see it on his face. It was he was ready to go.
Right. Well, he's an asset to the community and an asset to sports in general, and also in the classroom. And gentlemen, your team is an asset to Pennsbury. I mean, Joe Crossan was an outstanding quarterback, 3-sport athlete.
Yep.
And what you guys did during that era is something to behold, a memory to cherish forever, this 1974 undefeated team.
As we do. It's a beautiful thing.
Well, I'd like to thank the both of you, John Horovitz and Bob Epperson, for joining us here at halftime. We're going to be back with more of our halftime activities as we have homecoming festivities. And gentlemen, again, thank you both.
Thank you for your time. I just want to say hi to Wayne Booter, who's out in California. He was instrumental in our team, and he's listening to us right now.
Well, Wayne was a great player, as all your teammates were.
Absolutely.
Okay, so let's go Falcons. We're only down by 6, and let's see if we can get the upset today.
All right, gentlemen, thank you very, very much. We're here at the half with the score at Pennsbury trailing Council Rock South 6-0. We'll be back with more of our halftime activities right after these words on WBCB Sports.
This is Tommy Green from the 1993 National League champion Phillies. And here's the pitch. BCWSA water and sewer customers, you have a new and improved option to pay your bill that's convenient, reliable, and secure. Powered by Invoice Cloud, you can pay your bill 24/7 online, pay by text or phone, or sign up for autopay to avoid fees for late or missed payments. Visit bcwsa.net to sign up or for more info. That's
Chris Sarver is a member of both the varsity lacrosse team as well as the varsity hockey team at Pennsbury. He is currently the captain of the hockey team and has been a varsity starter since his freshman year. Gillette Melendez, also known as MJ, a 136 varsity starter on the girls wrestling team. She is the command chief in JROTC and a member of the Pennsbury dance team. Danny Lynn Harkins has been a Chick-fil-A team trainer for the past 5 years. She is a member of the preschool academy at Pennsbury and loves to share her enthusiastic energy with the children. Jacqueline Sullivan plays varsity field hockey for the Falcon girls. She is the secretary of UNICEF, a club that works to help children in need across the world, as well as a member of the National Honor Society. Shaden Jahanbini is a varsity athlete on the Falcons boys soccer team. He is the treasurer of Best Buddies, as well as a part of Key Club. Matthew McGinty plays varsity football for the Pennsbury Falcons and has for all 4 years of his high school career. He participates in the Challenger program, where he teaches children with disabilities how to play football. Jordan Ewert plays varsity lacrosse for the Falcon girls team and has since her sophomore year. She is also a member of the Best Buddies Club, and she is committed to Rowan University for lacrosse. You've met your nominees, and now it is time to reveal the royalty of Homecoming 2024. And the winners are
your 2024 Homecoming Royals, Jackie Sullivan and Shay Jahanbini.
All right, the Royals out there. Halftime. All right, we'll be back here as we get you closer to the second half on BCB.
BCWSA.net.
At Penn Community Bank, we're in the business of building thriving communities. That means making sure businesses like yours have the banking and lending support they need to grow. From loans to meet your needs, no matter the industry or project size, to cash flow tools that put your money to work for you every day. We know better than anyone. Your success is our community success. Penn Community Bank. Here we grow. Learn more at penncommunitybank.com/business.
The Peruzzi Automotive Group on Business Route 1 in Fairless Hills is looking for auto techs, all skill levels. Here's a chance to work for a locally owned family business that offers many benefits. For more information, call the service director, John Damarotis, at 215-943-6200. That's 215-943-6200, or visit any Peruzzi service department.
Hi, I'm Kevin Nolan from Nolan Painting. Choosing the right color is critical in the painting process. Our color consultants will help you pick and choose the right color, and our professional painters will apply it with precision. NolanPainting.com, improving homes and neighborhoods since 1979.
You know what's brilliant? Boring. Think about it. Boring is the unsung catalyst for bold.
What straps bold to a rocket and hurtles it into space? Boring does.
Great job, Astro persons. Over.
Boring is the jumping off point for all the unboring things we do.
Boring makes vacations happen, early retirement's possible, and startups start up.
Because it's smart, dependable, and steady. All words you want from your bank. Taking chances is for skateboarding and gas station sushi, not banking. That's why PNC Bank strives to be boring with your money. The pragmatic, calculated kind of boring.
Moving to Boca?
Boring.
That was a dolphin, right?
It's simple, really. For nearly 160 years, PNC Bank has had one goal: to be brilliantly boring with your money, so you can be happily fulfilled with your life. Which is pretty unboring if you think about it.
Thank you, boring.
Puss and Boots Tavern on Trenton Road in Fairless Hills is better than ever. Sit down, relax on their outdoor patio, and try their award-winning burgers and sandwiches. Visit their takeout store for all of your favorite takeout. And it's not just food. You can also stock up on beers, soda, cigars, snacks, and a variety of convenience items. Call 215-295-8236 to place your order or have them host your next party or affair. Get out and enjoy the summer weather today at Puss and Boots Tavern.
All right, it's a homecoming Saturday here in Fairless Hills. The Pennsbury Falcons hosting the CB South Titans, and 6-0 at the half. The only score coming off of a situation where the Pennsbury Falcons had a high snap to punter Chris Karamis, went over his head all the way back to the 20-yard line and set the Titans up with a short field. And on that mini drive, Owen Pinkerton with a couple of quarterback keepers, which took CB South right to the 1-yard line, and then they gave it to running back Gavin Graham, and Graham gets him into the end zone. The sophomore strikes from 1 yard out. The extra point, no good, banging right off the upright, and so here we are, 6-0, and besides that one touchdown, really a defensive struggle between these two. Pennsbury really helped out. Unfortunately, a bad snap on the first punt attempt, but outside of that, Falcons have really been helped by Chris Karamis's punts and pinning the Titans back in a lot of situations. And it will be CB South to get the football first when we get back to it in the second half. So that's an advantage for the Titans to try to get right back to work against this Pennsbury team. Pennsbury, again, 3 wins, 2 losses. And as we heard from our halftime guest, CB South undefeated at 5-0. And congratulations to that 74 team. We heard from John Horovitz just a moment ago. Here as we got halftime going on at BCB.
Stop me up.
McCaffrey's game of the night. McCaffrey's Food Market's exceptional every day. All right, we'll step aside and return to the field in just a bit.
The newest first-class Italian restaurant to grace our area is Amore's Restaurant at 8630 New Falls Road in Levittown. This new Italian family restaurant offers fine dining at affordable prices with cuisine to rival any center city restaurant. From appetizers like mussels and clams to entrees like their homemade pasta dishes, including fettuccine and tossed with fresh fish, field dishes, steaks, pork chops, plus chicken dishes. Discover true fine Italian cuisine here in your own backyard at the new Amore's Restaurant, 8630 New Falls Road, Levittown.
Puss and Boots Tavern on Trenton Road in Fairless Hills is better than ever. Sit down, relax on their outdoor patio, and try their award-winning burgers and sandwiches. Visit their takeout store for all of your favorite takeout. And it's not just food. You can also stock up on beers, soda, cigars, snacks, and a variety of convenience items. Call 215-295-8236 to place your order or have them host your next party or affair. Get out and enjoy the summer weather today at Puss and Boots Tavern.
Hi, I'm Perry Warren, your Pennsylvania State Representative for the 31st District, and I'm proud to sponsor tonight's game. As your state representative, I have written and passed bills that will protect our children, help our small businesses, reduce insurance costs, increase gun safety, and protect our environment. And I supported record state public education funding for our students and our schools. With your vote, I will continue to bring home real results to the people of Lower Makefield, Newtown, Upper Makefield, and Yardley. Thank you, and I hope you enjoy today's game. Go Falcons!
Proceeding paid for by Perry Warren for State Representative.
The Peruzzi Automotive Group. No matter where you purchased your car, take it to a local Peruzzi dealership service department for the best deals on tires. Buy 3, get the 4th free. All makes and models. Name brand tires. The Peruzzi Automotive dealerships on Route 1 in Fairless Hills, where our business is you.
You are more than just a heart patient. St. Mary Medical Center's teams get to know you, which can help them diagnose a problem and start treatment faster. St. Mary's cardiovascular team offers the latest imaging and device technology, testing and surgical procedures you'd expect from a national health system with the personal touch you want from local experts. They know the importance of seeing the person behind the patient. Let St. Mary help you live a healthier life. Hi, Merrill Reese reminding you to come back home to traditional Italian cuisine at the Revere Restaurant, 802 River Road in Ewing Township. You'll always feel welcome at the Revere. It's like stepping back in time where you'll feel like you're dining in South Philly or New York's Little Italy. Start your meal with complimentary Hoboken bread. Choose from a menu featuring fresh seafood dishes, succulent steaks and chops, or homemade pasta dishes. You can even eat at the bar. The Revere is open 7 days for lunch and dinner. Private room available for special affairs, plus catering. For reservations, call 609-882-6365. That's 609-882-6365. Come home to traditional Italian cuisine. The Revere Restaurant, 802 River Road, Ewing Township.
Your day-to-day life is hectic between having to pick up the kids, make dinner, the countless other tasks that you got to get done. Rob's Automotive and Collision is there to make your life a whole lot easier. Make sure you take advantage of their spacious waiting rooms, the large flat-screen TVs, complimentary coffee and muffins, and free Wi-Fi. So even when you do have to stop, Rob's is there to make you feel right at home. Give Rob's a call today at 215-826-9200 for any of your auto repair needs.
Hi, I'm Perry Warren, your Pennsylvania State Representative for the 31st District, and I'm proud to sponsor tonight's game. As your state representative, I've written and passed bills that will protect children, help our small businesses, reduce insurance costs, increase gun safety, and protect our environment. And I supported record state public education funding for our students and our schools. With your vote, I will continue to bring home real results to the people of Lower Makefield, Newtown, Upper Makefield, and Yardley. Thank you very much, and I hope you enjoyed today's game.
Proceeding paid for by Perry Warren for State Representative.
Rob's Automotive and Collision Center in Lower Bucks County is a full-service repair center with competitive prices, top-of-the-line products, and the finest auto body and mechanical repair technicians anywhere. Rob's makes repairing your car easy. Same-day service guaranteed. Whether it's an oil change, state inspection, or a mechanical issue, Rob's will have you in and out and on your way. 2700 Veterans Highway in Bristol, 215-826-9200 for 24-hour emergency towing. Call 215-826-0250. Sandy's Beef and Ale has been serving famous hand-carved roast beef sandwiches since 1967. Sandy's Beef and Ale is located in the Woodburn Square Shopping Center next to the Oxford Valley Mall. Stop in anytime for not only the roast beef sandwiches, but also the patty, the tailgater, and the Cuban. Family and friends have been coming to Sandy's Beef and Ale since 1967. 2028 Old Lincoln Highway, the home of the hand-carved sandwich.
Hi, I'm Kevin Nolan from Nolan Painting. We paint over 2,500 homes a year, and as you can see in our reviews, we have lots and lots of satisfied customers. So I always say, if you're not happy, we're not happy. It's because we care so much that we provide 100% customer satisfaction. We're going to put a lot of care and effort in what we do. We're going to do a super neat and clean job. Really, that's been the secret of our success. I don't think there's a company out there that provides better customer service than Nolan Painting. Nolan Painting, improving homes and neighborhoods since 1979.
An injured knee might look pretty simple, but there's a whole person behind that injury. One who misses the feel of his jump shot and spending time with friends on the court. It's not enough just to heal. He needs to get back out there. St. Mary Medical Center, a member of Trinity Health Mid-Atlantic, is here to help you reach your goals. Trinity Health Mid-Atlantic combines all the knowledge and expertise of a national health system with personalized health care that treats the individual behind the injury because they see all of you.
Welcome back to Pennsbury High School and back to Falcon Field. Looks like the Titans are warmed up and ready to go. The Falcons are yet to come back out for the second half. They trail 6-0 on homecoming Saturday. Chris Ermer, Gus Barber, Ben Goldstein, Bill Redner.
Want to quickly say congratulations to the homecoming Royals of 2024, Shai Jahanbini and Jacqueline Sullivan. Jahanbini is on the varsity soccer team. I believe Sullivan is on, I believe they said field hockey. So congratulations to both of them.
Absolutely. And you going to the dance later?
I will be going to the dance. As soon as they play Fiend or Carnival, I am leaving. I hate those songs. And I know they're going to play them.
Well, at least you've set up some boundaries for yourself.
Yeah,
that's good.
When they play them, I'm walking out of the gym. I'll probably stay, but I will not be participating in the dances of those songs.
Are you going to do like the cha-cha slide, though?
Oh, I can get down with some cha-cha slide, a little bit of the Cupid shuffle, you know.
Well, it's a homecoming weekend. Great to be with you here on WBCB as Pennsbury hosts CB South. And yet it was a long halftime with the homecoming festivities. And now here they come, the Falcons, back to get after it. And they will be kicking away to start the second half.
And it got a lot windier, too. The wind has really picked up. It is whipping. It's a little chilly. Not as much rain, but this wind is pretty crazy. So here come the Falcons back on the field.
Yep. Thankfully, not as much rain up there for you to
Yeah,
deal
and
with.
interesting with that wind, if it's going to affect how South and Pinkerton calls their plays, a little maybe less passing. You didn't see too many passing from Pinkerton in the first half with how successful the ground game was, but there was still a couple plays that they try to go deep, so maybe this wind is going to affect things for South offensively.
Yeah, we'll see Pinkerton's see if he can get those legs going again. That was the main weapon that he hurt the Falcons with in the first half. But really, game within reach. You know, who wants this more at this point? A huge game when you look at how this SOL National is breaking down. A big game for CB South when they're looking at a potential league title at this point. And for Pennsbury, you know, they have a really good chance to work their way into a good playoff spot, but you need to get wins against really good teams like this so you get all the power points that you can get. You take down a 5-0 team, all of a sudden your stock shoots right through the roof, and the Falcons need a win here today and a big game against CB West, and the whole complexion of this season turns around big time. after that Penridge game, we talked about it in our Trentonian pregame run-up to the kickoff. Just didn't seem like they had stuff going. And then last week, starting to get stuff to click, got the big win over CB East. And today, fortunately for the Falcons, they can call on this defense. And they've been doing a good job of holding teams in check for the most part.
Yeah, one thing I'm seeing, though, with this Pennsbury team, as they're warming up, one of the captains, Rocco May, we talked about how he started to limp a little bit in the end of that first half, coming back from a serious ankle leg injury. Well, he's out there with a big wrap job on that ankle, that left ankle. So that's a storyline to go ahead in this second half. See about one of Pennsbury's top offensive linemen, if he's going to be fully healthy and still be able to contribute like he can.
Fortunately, with that wrap, looked like he was moving okay.
Yeah.
So we'll keep an eye on Rocco and see how this offensive line comes together in the second half this afternoon.
So if you're looking for creative food dishes with beautiful river views in a down-to-earth American cafe, then visit Charcoal BYOB overlooking the Delaware and Yardley. Their food is locally sourced and seasonally inspired. Bring a bottle of your favorite wine and enjoy exceptional cuisine created by executive chef brothers Mark and Eric Plesha. Charcoal is open Wednesday through Sunday for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. For more information and their menus, visit charcoalbyob.com. Charcoal BYOB on River Road, overlooking the Delaware in Yardley. Today's game is also brought to you by Sioka Ford and Lincoln Business Route 1, right there in Lawrenceville, New Jersey. Jim Catucci, General Sales Manager. Hey, for a better selection of Fords, trucks, cars, SUVs, and Lincolns, 20 minutes from Langhorne, Pennsylvania, is Sioka Ford and Lincoln. They will give you the greatest value for your trade-in. All this just 20 short minutes from Langhorne on Business Route 1 in Lawrenceville. Sioka Ford and Lincoln. Small enough to know you, big enough and better to serve you. Stop in and say hello to Jim Catucci at Sioka Ford Lincoln, Lawrenceville.
All right, Pereira has it teed up, a high, short, end-over-end kick that goes out of bounds and will draw flags for a procedure infraction, give the Titans some pretty good field position to get things going in the second half. Again, next week, a special start time for Pennsbury Falcon football, 7:30 for the kickoff between CB West and the Pennsbury Falcons.
7 to 6 to 7:30.
Yep.
Well, next week it's 7:30 because the Jewish holiday needs to start after sundown, so they're starting it at 7:30 for the later true Friday Night Light action.
Why can't they start till after sundown?
Because the Jewish holiday ends and starts after sundown.
Are you not allowed outside?
So, 1st and 10 from the 35. The handoff goes to Cape. Cape splits defenders, has running room to the 45-40. And he's ridden out of bounds over there by Sean Beatty, but it's a big pickup on the first play from scrimmage for CB South here to get this one going in the second half.
To answer Gus's question, yes, you are allowed outside, but after, they can't play, quote, during the holiday. So to have it after the holiday, it's like you don't want to play something on Christmas Day, so you play it on the 26th.
Interesting.
All right, 1st and 10 from the Falcon 40. And Pinkerton, one receiver split to the near side. A double wing, and it's going to be a quarterback keeper right up the middle. Flag comes out behind the play, and I think this was going to be a hold. It is holding on CB South, so this one's coming back. And we'll replay first down, but from the spot, this is thrown right near the line of scrimmage. So 1st and 20.
Yeah, and definitely what you don't want to do after that big gain on that very first drive of the second half. A huge run, very next play, try to continue that momentum, and you get a big holding call, drops you back 10 yards.
And Pinkerton, with his vision and quickness, he doesn't need a lot of help. So looked like he was going to be able to pick up that. He was going to have a positive gain even without the holding penalty, but now a 1st and 20 for the Titans from midfield. And they fake the handoff, and Pinkerton brought down by Luke Bagley. Boy, Luke Bagley seems like he's got a nose for just where Pinkerton is going to be today. Had chasing him in the backfield, and nice play right there. Brings up 2nd and 20.
Well, runs in the family. You saw his brother last year take over the quarterback duties and do a really good job at just controlling the offense.
And before that, John Bagley was a big contributor for Pennsbury Falcon football.
Bagley family runs deep.
2nd and 20 now. Play action on the slant. He hit Geis, and Geis upended by Walker Murray, but it's a pickup across the 35-yard line down to the 33, and this one makes it a much more makeable 3rd down for the Titans. Big play there as Danny Geis, the senior, nice route on that slant. And that's why Pinkerton is a dual threat, not only dangerous with the run game, but also has done a good job with accurate throws.
That was a tight hole to get that into.
And boom, there he goes on the run game, but there's nothing there for him. Riding him down is Andrew Dale. And that brings up 4th and 3.
And that's an interesting decision. It's 4th and short. You're a little too far for a field goal, possibly. Short ground for a punt. It's going to be a tough call. I think they're going to go for it, but you know, there's a lot of different things that could go wrong and a lot of different choices considering the field position.
Yeah, they bring in running back Gavin Graham for this next play, but I got to guess that you're going to put this in the hands of your quarterback and try to give him a type of run, pass option type of look here. Is now Graham in the pistol. And they fake the handoff to Graham, and Pinkerton bounces it to the outside. Steps through one tackle across the 25-yard line to the 24, and Owen Pinkerton picks up a big Titan 1st down.
Jammer Doors and Windows is 4th-generation local family-owned business since 1920, offering Raynor garage doors and openers. The finest garage doors and openers, Jammer also carries entry doors, patio doors, windows, sales service, and installation, and Jammer does their own installation using no subcontractors, which means fairer prices and more pride in their work.
Yeah, right there. I'm not sure if he had the option to give that football, but a good read by Pinkerton. Bounces it to the outside here on the jet sweep. The give goes to Cape. Cape steps through a tackle and dives into the end zone for a touchdown. A 24-yard touchdown run for Braylon Cape. And it's now 12-0. CB South in front of the Pennsbury Falcons.
Trying to look to get that edge there. Able to get the edge and just saw plenty of green grass. Took off and able to get in there for only the 2nd score of the game.
Yeah, great job at the end of that run. Looked like he was going down. Maintained his balance just enough to get the football over the goal line. And now they will go for 2. Pistol set, and now they totally change up the formation. Leaving Pinkerton in the gun. He'll throw into the end zone, but too short, incomplete. And the try is no good. So 12-0 as we come back up the field in the McCaffrey's game of the night with CB South in front of the Pennsbury Falcons.
Say, folks, you got to try Amori's Italian restaurant. You know, we talk a lot about restaurants, and each one has their own niche, and Amori's is the newest one that we're proud to tell you about. It's a traditional, real, old-fashioned, down-home Italian fare cooked by people who know Italian cuisine. They have homemade pasta dishes, including dishes like a fettuccine seafood extravaganza with fresh fish, veal dishes, steaks, chops, plus chicken dishes. Discover true fine Italian cuisine right here in your own backyard, right behind the baseball field, behind left field over here at Pennsbury High School at 8630 New Falls Road, open for lunch and dinner dinner Tuesday through Sunday, 11 a.m. till 9 p.m., Fridays and Saturdays till 10 p.m. on Maury's Restaurant.
So the opening drive of the third quarter resulting in the second CB South touchdown. And there on the kickoff, Brensinger will just let that one skip into the end zone for a touchback. So Pennsbury football 1st and 10 from their own 20-yard line. And needing a response here. Certainly what CB South wanted to do, getting the football first. They march it down the field and get back into the end zone. And for Pennsbury, maybe give David Kane a little bit of a longer leash out there and see what they can do throwing the football. The ground game hasn't netted the results that you need for this type of ground and pound success, but they stick with it, give to Caden Brown, and Brown up to the 25. That's a good rush, but he loses the football at the end. Why wasn't the play blown dead? Looked like his forward progress was stopped, and then the ball comes out, a fumble on the field, recovered by CB South's Dan McCusker, and a huge turn of events right there as the Falcons get it back and then lose it right away. And now the Titans are set up at the Pennsbury 26-yard line. Wow, big turn of events here in the McCaffrey's game of the day. And right there, Caden Brown fighting for a little bit more yardage, but and I know some Pennsbury Falcon fans probably thought that play should have been blown dead with his forward progress stopped.
Yeah.
But I don't know, you look back at it, his legs were still moving.
Legs keep churning, the play's not over.
Pinkerton, time in the pocket, and completes it to Andrew Lizowski. And that's a Titan first down inside the 15 to the 14-yard line. As we get down to the 8-minute mark in quarter number 3, McCaffrey's game of the night on BCB. Chris Ermer with Gus Barber, Ben Goldstein, and Bill Redner. Great to have you with us. They put Cape in that pistol set and some pre-snap movement, a false start on the Titans.
So don't forget to watch the Coaches Roundtable show, video streamed live every Wednesday night at 7 p.m. from Sandy's Beef and Ale, brought to you by Lower Bucks Hospital. Since 1954, Lower Bucks Hospital has supported the youth of our community, along with the fellow auto group Route 13 Bristol. Mention the Coaches Roundtable, get $250 off any car just for mentioning the Coaches Roundtable at the fellow auto group Route 13 Bristol.
And this week, our guest for the Coaches Roundtable show was defensive tackle Liam Davis. And before this next play, more pre-snap movement, another false start.
This looks like the Giants game the other night.
Well, one thing that would make it seem like the Giants game is some field goals. They're just hitting a ton of field goals, and we've seen that quite a bit for Pennsbury with Angelo Pereira. But here down 12-0, they need to get into the end zone, and first off, they need to get the football back. Pinkerton gives to Cape. Cape cuts it upfield up to the 20. Some strong running gets him down near the 15-yard line and back to the original line of scrimmage. They'll say just behind the sticks, a touch, 2nd and 11.
Yeah, they're going to say, how'd you get a pickup of 10 if it's only 2nd and 10 or 2nd and 11? But that's what happens when you get all those pre-play penalties.
Yeah, back-to-back false starts, and still trying to get into the end zone, inside the red zone, and Pinkerton fakes the give to Cape, cuts it upfield,
ball!
And the ball comes out, fumbled, and the Pennsbury Falcons recover.
Wow.
And where are they going to mark this? Is this at the 1 or inside the end zone?
No, I think they're going to say it's like literally like an inch away from the goal line.
So Pinkerton fighting for more yardage. Ball comes out and goes towards the end zone. The Falcons get on it at the half-yard line.
Yeah, literally inside the 1 yard line. Wonder what they'll do here to try and get out of here.
Yeah, from this spot on the field, one of the things that they've done up the gut is a constant diet of Caden Brown. And he's done a good job of, even in situations, at least making something. And it is Brown on the give and fights his way out of the end zone just barely.
It's really close to being a safety.
Wow.
Looked like the Titans wanted. Oh, look at that. It's literally on the line.
Yeah, so they lose an inch or two and get the football basically touching the goal line now.
Got to be really careful here.
Well, there they went to Caden Brown, and he barely avoided the safety. Now I'm thinking maybe you give David Kane an opportunity to roll out, throw something short, but everybody in tight on this next play. And again, an inside give. And again, the Falcons with maybe a yard, but still in the shadow of their own goalpost. They'll move it out to the 1 yard mark. Yeah, so the Falcons recover the fumble. Looked like the Titans were on the verge of maybe scoring again, but they recover a fumble right on their own 1 yard line, which is posing some problems for this offense, trying to make sure they can create some space to just get some things to work. Kane sets him down again. And he will roll to the near side, and he is rushed. Had a guy there, Jack Bertolio, in his space, and he said, I got to just get rid of it. Brings up 4th down, and we'll bring back Chris Karamis, who will be punting this one right from the edge of the end zone.
Well, Pennsbury today has gone punt, 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 punt.
They better hope they get a good snap, too, this time.
Yeah, 4 punts, fumble, and now here's another punt.
So Karamis deep in the end zone. Nice snap and an end-over-end kick that comes to the near side of the field and skips out of bounds at the 30-yard line. So the Titans take over. 1st and 10 from the Pennsbury 30.
Come back to Villa Rosa in the Edgewood Village Shopping Center, Yardley. Family owned and operated for over 3 decades, this family-run restaurant offers extraordinary dishes and pizza for lunch and dinner at very reasonable family prices. Traditional pizzas to gourmet pizzas, hot and cold subs, sandwiches, wraps, burgers, and more. Dinner entrees including seafood, specialty pasta dishes, chicken and veal dishes, plus a special kids menu. BYOB, eat in, take out, Villa Rosa. Open Monday through Thursday, 10 a.m. till 10:30, Friday and Saturdays till 11, Sundays till 10:30 p.m. in the Edgewood Village Shopping Center.
Cape goes in motion, busts it to the outside, but obviously a hold out there, and the flags come out. This one's coming back, holding on the Titans here with 4:39 to go, 3rd quarter. And we have not seen the official signal yet, but looked like a couple of guys noticed that hold on the edge, and it is holding on CB South. Again, next week, Pennsbury with a 7:30 kickoff, taking on the Bucks of CB West. Also, they'll have their senior recognition night when they host the Abington Ghosts. That's coming up later in the season, and they wrap up their regular season campaign as they will take on the Neshaminy Redskins. Redskins taken down by CB West last night. Pinkerton throwing complete to Danny Geis. Geis to the 25 and pushed out there by Garlitz. They get most of that penalty yardage back and some. Now 2nd and 5. The football just inside the 25-yard line.
This T-shirt launcher the cheerleaders have is very weak, I must say. They tried to shoot one high up, and it went about 5 rows. So we need to get the gun.
Pinkerton from the gun. Completes it to McCusker. McCusker down to the 15-yard line, and that's good for another Titan first down.
Don't forget, you can put a stop to grocery and convenience store prices by always going up. You can visit the Chance to Save Bargain Outlet Store, New Falls Road. Hundreds of daily grocery items you and your family use every day, like cereal, fresh fruit and vegetables, snacks, pet foods, and so much more, plus cleaning supplies, cookware, clothing, even baby supplies and furniture. Chance to Save Bargain Outlet, open Monday through Friday, 10 till 8, Saturday and Sundays till 5 p.m., New Falls Road, across the street from Pennsbury's baseball field.
1st and 10 from the 15. The give is to Cape. Cape bangs into one of the Falcon defenders and takes it inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. Well, one of the things here today that seems a little different from the first 5 games for this Pennsbury Falcon team, Gus, I think they probably controlled the time of possession in those first 5 games, even against the Concrete Kids way back when, and against Penridge. Those were games they did not win, but they controlled the clock.
Yeah, this one, they are just feel like destroyed with the time of possession. It feels like every time we look, the South offense is out there.
And they're, putting together some clock-draining drives, and this one is quarterback Pinkerton with the keeper inside the 5, and that will give them a 1st and goal.
Rain's starting to pick up a little bit again. Here, a little bit of a harder miss now.
As we mentioned, the weather today, and we're dealing with the conditions and the players down there, maybe a little bit of a slick field. Want to send out our best wishes to everybody who was in the path of that Helene weather system. Really did quite a bit of damage, and so we've had a wet weekend, but at least we're not right down there where the real serious weather's coming down there. The give goes to Gavin Graham, and Graham is bottled up. Walker Murray with the stop. I think the other thing about that whole Helene thing was it was such a big weather system that even though we're not really close to it, these are some of the remnants of all that.
States like Michigan are even getting hit with some remnants.
Go blue.
Go blue.
2:15 and counting in the 3rd quarter. Pistol set. They fake the give to Graham. Pinkerton holds on to it, and a great job out there by Henry Garlitz on the edge. Didn't make the tackle, but he turned Pinkerton back into the defense, and his teammates come up with the stop, and now back to the 7 are the Titans. Well, one thing, this Pennsbury defense is not making it easy for CB South, even when the special teams has given up some good field position, or here they got a short field.
Yeah, and plenty of bend not break moments, and this is one of them that you let the team drive, but don't let them score.
Need a couple more stops here on 3rd down. The pitch goes out to Cape. Cape cuts it upfield, but cuts it right into the Pennsbury defense. Liam Davis is there. Henry Garlitz on the spot. And it's going to bring up 4th and goal from the 5-yard line. And I think we might be looking at a field goal. No. I mean, this would be a spot where maybe you would bring your kicker out, but the offense will stay out there for Coach Hetrick. And now the Pennsbury Falcon defense called on to keep them in this game. And keep them out of the end zone here on a 4th and goal from the 5. Pinkerton looking into the end zone, throws, hits McCusker, and McCusker loses the football. It's picked up There goes Boo Boo Pelham on the return to the 50, and there's nobody in the vicinity. And Antonio Pelham goes into the end zone for a touchdown.
Wow. So it looks like South is trying to argue that it might have hit the ground.
Or that McCusker, it looked like he was right on the doorstep of the end zone, and as he was going for the touchdown, the ball comes out. Right now the officials talking it over. Up on the scoreboard, it reads 12-6 Pennsbury.
Oh, they're going to say it stands.
It is a touchdown. Boo Boo Pelham with it was like a 100-yard return. He took it the whole field.
A 99-yard fumble recovery. Looked like the player, when he went down, looked like the ball got kicked up in the air somehow, right into the hands of Boo Boo, able to start streaking down the field for the touchdown. And it looks like South is going to need an explanation, as their coaches are absolutely furious.
Yeah, I guess it couldn't be a 100-yard return, because then the guy would have been in the end zone.
Yeah.
So he was at the one.
Well, Boo Boo could have been in the end zone, so it could have been 100 yards.
We'll have to watch it back.
But a huge play for Pennsbury, and now a penalty is thrown. That's going to be on the CB South coaches as they continue to give it to the officials. Was that against Pennsbury?
No,
I think they're just asking Pennsbury what they want to do.
I thought they pointed to the Pennsbury side, though.
I think they pointed at the coaches of South. Yeah.
Yeah, it is on CB South.
I think they were pointing towards the coach, which is kind of not cool.
Well, I mean,
pointing right at the guy, but
here it is. They're
going
to
to
point.
signal it.
All right, they will assess that on the kickoff.
Okay, that's what they were trying to ask Pennsbury. That makes more sense now.
And I think the officials just had enough of whatever they were hearing from the Titans sideline, as Pelham adds another point, and it's 12-7.
You know, South was probably giving it to them. You could just see all their coaches irate. They didn't like the call. Obviously, though, the referees came together, talked it out, all came to the conclusion that the play is going to stand. So, you know, as a referee, you explain that to the coach. You can only get so much back and forth. So.
Oh, my God. I mean, that's one of those ones, Gus and Ben and Bill, that I want to go back and take a look at, see a little bit closer on what we were able to capture with our camera here on WBCB. And, you know, that looked like McCusker, depending on how he was leaning, he was right near the goal line.
Yeah.
So that's another thing that, you know, we don't have at WBCB, that camera angle.
That's a
that
6-point swing right there.
You know, you have that camera right along the goal line in the NFL, and you can see, you know, did he actually get the ball over or not? Well, meanwhile, credit to Pennsbury for playing to the whistle, recognizing that the ball was out. Pelham said, I got nothing but turf in front of me.
And now you really look, though, after that penalty, Pennsbury loved doing those little pooch kicks, and where they're set up now, this pooch kick could go right inside the 10-yard line. So Pennsbury might have a great shot of field position. Oh, they're just going to boot it away into the end zone.
Yeah. For the touchback.
Yeah, trying to get South to start at their 20.
So, looks like, just watch it back, Boo Boo was maybe a yard in the end zone. So I'm going to call it a 101-yarder. It bounced and then bounced into his hands, and he was kind of shocked that it even bounced into him.
He's like, look what I found. Wow.
Still surprising how the ball was able to bounce in the air. You have to think maybe an arm hitting the ground or a body.
When you look back at that, Ben, did anybody
he was tackled. Yeah, he was tackled, ball went out of his hands, bounced in the air, and Pelham just kind of said, oh, look at this, and ran with it. So we're going to call it 101 yards.
Pinkerton gives to Cape. Cape running room to the outside. And that's a great sweep play executed by the Titans for a first down as Cape goes out of bounds across the 30-yard line at the 32. 12-yard pickup by Braylon Cape, the 6-foot sophomore. He's got one of their touchdown scores, Gavin Graham with the other one. And for the Pennsbury Falcons, we just saw Boo Boo Pelham with the fumble return. Ball comes out of Pinkerton's hands. And Ray Vereen gets to him and makes the tackle, which brings us to the end of the third quarter, as the CB South Titans with a 12-7 lead over the Pennsbury Falcons. High school football, the McCaffrey's game of the night on WBCB.
If anyone thinks cancer is going to define you, they've got another thing coming. We know you are more than someone healing their heart. At Trinity Health, we know the importance of seeing the person behind the patient, the fear, the joy, the journey. Bringing you the expert medical teams and state-of-the-art technological advancements of a national health system, along with the personalized care that helps you feel better. Because we see all of you.
No flash, just work. That's what Perry Warren, your state representative for the 31st District, does in Harrisburg. Perry Warren brings home results that help the people of Lower Makefield, Newtown, Upper Makefield, and Yardley, and our Pennsbury and Council Rock school districts. Perry works with both Democrats and Republicans to write and pass legislation that improves everyday life here at home. He wrote and introduced the bill that ended child marriage in Pennsylvania. Perry is a leader on gun safety legislation and authored bills to reduce flood insurance costs and environmental waste. No flash, just work. That's Perry Warren.
Proceeding paid for by Perry Warren for state representative.
Welcome back to Fairless Hills as we get the fourth quarter underway. The Falcons trailing the Titans of CB South 12-7. And an inside handoff to, is that Cape? Yes. Gets the give, picks up 2 yards. Up to the 45.
An interesting third down here. Third and about, I would say, 7, excuse me.
Yep.
So not as easy of a manageable third down to convert, especially against a Pennsbury defense that it feel like 75% of the time is able to cause pressure.
Yeah, at this spot on the field, you stop them on 3rd and 7, you're probably going to force a kick. So big play coming up. Pinkerton calling for it.
Walker Murray pressuring in the backfield.
Pump fake, throws, incomplete, looking for Danny Geis. But Boo Boo Pelham over there defensively. And so was Sean Beatty. So on 4th and 7, the Titans will send the punter out, and the Pennsbury Falcons will drop Jordan Brensinger back to try to see if he can come up with a punt return. The junior Cade Krim about to kick it away from just outside the 20-yard line. Nice end-over-end kick. Brensinger lets that bounce and checks up a good Pennsbury hop and falls down or stops at the 33-yard line. So 1st and 10 for the Falcons from there.
Down at the 33-yard line. 1st and 10 Falcons.
Boy, can the Falcons get this offense to have a little traction on this drive? Haven't been able to do it so far as we're down to 11 minutes remaining tonight. The only Pennsbury score coming on a 100-yard Boo Boo Pelham fumble return for a touchdown. Brown and Brensinger in the backfield. Murray in motion. The give there to Caden Brown. Picks up 4 yards.
Caden Brown carries for 5.
Well, they'll give him 5 as he's up to the 38-yard line.
I also thought that was a little bit of a generous spot. I also thought he got 4, but ref says what ref says. We don't want to get a flag up here, you know. We're agreeing with you, refs.
You just see the ref launch a flag up to the booth.
Use one of those T-shirt launchers.
Yeah.
2nd and 5 now. The give again to Caden Brown. And Brown with a Pennsbury first down up across the 45-yard line to the 46.
Caden Brown carries to the 46 for a Falcon first down.
And as this season has progressed, Caden Brown's workload has increased week after week. I mean, he really got first few weeks.
Got a timeout here. Not sure if it's an official timeout, an injury timeout, but don't see anybody that looks injured.
The first few weeks, Caden Brown didn't get a lot of touches. It was Jaden Bright, Brensinger, Hex Walker in there.
We didn't hear his name at all, we feel like.
And over the last few games, he really has been a huge part of this run game. The pitch out to Brensinger, but a great effort there by Gavin Graham.
Yeah, we haven't seen a lot of Jordan Brensinger today. I mean, we haven't seen the Pennsbury offense a lot today in general, but it's been a lot of Caden Brown, a lot of throws, but not a whole lot of Jordan Brensinger. He's got over 100 yards in every game this season.
And I think in part, Ben, you can credit that to the pursuit to the football. The athletes that are out there for the Titans, they're not letting Pennsbury get to the edge. So they'll try to run this one off tackle, and there's a little running room for Brown across the 50-yard line to the 48. And makes this much more makeable here.
Yeah, it looks around a 3rd and 5 to be. And the way Pennsbury's offense is operating right now doesn't seem that too damning of a task to get.
Down under the 9-minute mark in this afternoon's game. A homecoming Saturday. Chris, Gus, Ben hanging out with you here from Fairless Hills.
All-star crew.
Now Falcons looking to convert. Probably 4-down territory here, just over the 50. The give to Brown. And Brown runs right into Justin Dwyer, the big 6'1" senior. Stops that play basically at the line of scrimmage. No gain, brings up 4th and 3. And they gained 1 yard up to the 47. And decision time for Coach Snyder, and the decision is send out the punter.
Yeah, way your defense is going, maybe just try to pin this South team as far back as you can.
So Chris Karamis will again punt it away. Set up right near his 40. And Danny Geis looking for a return around the 10-yard line. Time there for Karamis, and maybe a little too much on it. Yeah, he sends that one into the end zone. Still a good kick. It winds up being a touchback and a 1st and 10 for the Titans at their own 20-yard line. Well, it's been a defensive struggle, and Pennsbury has been good defensively, but so have the Patriots. I mean, they gave up 17 last week to CB West. But other than that, pitching a shutout to Archbishop Wood, gave up only 6 to Souderton, and just 1 touchdown to Upper Dublin. And so far limiting Pennsbury to just 1 score today. But the Falcons have also limited the Titans to just a couple of TDs, and this one still in the balance as we get down to 7:43 to go, and Pinkerton calls for it, fakes the handoff, steps through a little heavy traffic, and gets it out to the 25-yard line, a 5-yard pickup for the Titan QB. You look at the team stats for CB South coming into the game. They had scored 145 and just gave up 45 points.
Wow. 100-yard run differential.
2nd and 5. Cape gets the handoff, tries to get to the outside, crosses the 25, but look, they're going to mark him out of bounds at the 26-yard line. So the Falcons with another opportunity to try to get the football back with a defensive stand on 3rd down. And this deep in their own territory, the Titans, I don't think, would risk it, even if it's a 4th and 1 or a 4th and 2.
They would try to punt it as far as they could.
Graham goes back behind the quarterback, and the give is to Gavin Graham, and he runs into Chris Karamis, but then fights forward and picks up the first down. Gavin Graham, just a sophomore, but 5'11 and 220, and that's looked like 220 pounds of muscle on that play.
Thick.
As we get down to the 6-minute mark here in today's game. So there, Pennsbury missing an opportunity to make a stop on third down. Fresh set for the Titans. And Pinkerton will tuck it and go. Takes it right up the middle across the 35-yard line to the 37.
Pinkerton carries for 7. Second down and 3.
Brings up 2nd and 3.
Yeah, and as you keep able to get these first downs, the clock is just going to continue to tick away as we're just under 5.5 left here in this fourth quarter.
A handoff on 2nd down. Again, they've been going to Cape and to Graham. The 1-2 punch for the Titans today. And that time a 2-yard pickup brings up 3rd and 1. Football at the 40-yard line. Again, another chance for this defense. I mean, if they could make a stop, it feels like here maybe you would even need a negative play in order to force a kick.
Yeah.
But they've gotten that. Sometimes that football has been a little slippery out there for Pinkerton. Able to secure the snap and brought down almost immediately by Liam Davis. Davis knifes in there, but that's enough for a Titan first down. Yeah, coming into today's game, Owen Pinkerton had picked up 512 yards on the ground. And he's continued with that ground attack here today, but also mixed in some effective passing, which has allowed the Titans to control the football and control the clock for the most part, especially in this second half. Great play on the outside. Sean Beatty cuts down Braylon Cape. No gain, 2nd and 10.
Yeah, but now you're starting to get to the point where time is going to be an issue. You have to not let South get a first down here if you're Pennsbury, because if you do, then you're going to have to start using your timeouts and everything like that, and it's really going to start to become an issue.
Yeah, we get under the 3.5-minute mark, and the clock is rolling. And that's a big advantage for CB South.
100%.
On 2nd and 10, Cape in motion. They fake the give to Cape. Pinkerton with the keeper. Ray Vereen with the good tackle. Grabs him around the waist and brings Pinkerton down at the 47-yard line.
And even around this field position, if it becomes a 4th down, even for South, I feel like you would still punt it away. You would give the ball back to Pennsbury in a chance, but the way your defense has been playing against this Falcons offense, and given the field position, if you're able to get a good punt, it just makes more sense to give them as much field to try to go down and score.
No question, but now, in order to make that happen, you got to get a stop on 3rd and 5. Pinkerton with Cape behind him is going to hand the football off to Cape, and he goes rumbling forward for a first down. Braylon Cape coming into the game averaging 7.6 yards per carry, and that's enough for a CB South first down.
First down carried by Braylon Cape.
And now you're going to have to start with the timeouts.
Tackle by 16, Henry
Falcons still holding on to all 3 timeouts. But meanwhile, the clock continuing to roll. You don't have the benefit of that 2-minute warning to stop the clock, as it now gets down to 1:50 remaining. Clock still moving. Gavin Graham back there with Pinkerton. And Graham gets the handoff. And Graham bangs to the front line of the Pennsbury defense and just falls forward for a couple of yards and actually ends up being a 5-yard pickup for CB South. And the Pennsbury Falcons called timeout with 1:34 to go. They need to come up with a stop and try to keep a little bit of time on the clock to see what they could do here on homecoming Saturday. Next week against CB West with a 7:30 kickoff. Also games coming up against North Penn, Abington, and Neshaminy. But we are right in the midst of this high school football season now. Falcons knew they were going to be up against it today. Yeah. CB South, they hadn't lost at all this season, 5-0, including big wins over CB East and CB West. CB West defending SOL national champs, as the Bucks went 10-0 last year, but CB South, they were not far behind. They were 9-1 in the regular season and actually had a better playoff run than CB West did. So timeout on the field, 1:34 to go. Okay, just a moment ago, the Falcons had 3 timeouts, right?
Yes, they did.
Did they use 2 of them?
I don't believe so. I think they only used 1, and
right.
then South used 1 as well.
Yeah,
so it should be 2 and 2.
Yeah, unless the...
Yeah, the referee just signaled that it's
2 and 2.
Yeah.
Okay, good. All right, 2 timeouts for both teams, which, I mean, for Pennsbury, that's...
big time.
They need to stop the clock.
Yeah.
And to use those timeouts in a smart way, but none of that's going to matter if the defense can't stop them. So, got to get a stop on 2nd and 5. Football at the Falcon 38-yard line. Pinkerton with Gavin Graham in the backfield. Owen Pinkerton calls for it, fakes the handoff, bounces to the outside, trying to use his speed to get out there, and he does win the foot race. And where they mark him down, that is going to be very close to a Titan first down.
Yeah, they're calling it. First down.
Result of play is a Titan first down.
One of the guys late to get up was Dan McCusker, but yeah, the officials say they got enough, and 1st and 10 for the Titans, and that'll just about do it. Falcons do use their 2nd timeout, so they stop the clock with 1:18 remaining and have a timeout in the back pocket. But now if you get the football back, maybe you need to come up with forcing a fumble, come up with a turnover, or you're going to have only a couple of seconds left, and I don't know, maybe come up with a little bit of magic.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough. You gotta try to get some. I wouldn't say a miracle, but it's gonna be close to one.
Magic, miracle.
Yeah.
It's getting into that kind of category now.
Getting
for the
into
Falcons.
the words that start with M.
Yeah, yes. And 1:18 to go. I mean, you look back at last week's win. That was so big for Pennsbury, and the week before that, falling to Penridge. I mean, if they could have, cleaned up a couple of little things in that game, I feel like they had the opportunity. And now victory formation for the Titans. All they have to do is drop a knee to the turf and force Pennsbury to use their final timeout.
While the scoreboard and the scorecard may be a loss for Pennsbury, you got to give a lot of credit to this defense. This is a really good Titan offense, and just allowing 12 points to them, you could say it's a moral victory for the defense. They played well. The offense struggled, but defense got a big 101-yard touchdown, fumble recovery, only held Titans to only 12 points. I mean, if the offense could have differed, you would be looking at a huge win.
Yeah, and you look at the nature of the SOL National this year and how things are shaking out. Now, this is the top team in the league, and the Pennsbury Falcons hung with them today. Your point about, there not really being any moral victories and such, yes, but a hard-fought game throughout for this Pennsbury Falcon team.
Especially this defense.
Yeah, and a lot to be proud of on the defensive side of the football. And really, if they just didn't mess up that snap, right? You go back to that. I mean, sometimes games come down to one little turning point early in the game after the Pennsbury's first drive. They drop Chris Karamis back to punt, and it goes over his head all the way back to the 20. That results in the first score of the game.
Got some pushing and shoving.
Yeah, after the whistle, teams mixing it up. There's, I think, going to have to run one more play here before we're all done. On homecoming, I would love, Ben, if you would go down and talk to Boo Boo about that play today. Our DiLorenzo's Player of the Game segment, and we share a video interview with those on YouTube that check it out. Our Player of the Game gets a gift certificate from DiLorenzo's Pizza. And that certainly was a huge bright spot for Pennsbury on what was a kind of a cloudy the weather felt like the game a little bit. And now the final seconds come off the clock, and CB South moves to 6-0 with a 12-7 win over the Pennsbury Falcons. Braylon Cape and Gavin Graham, both with touchdown scores. And the Falcons try to make it a little bit closer with a big touchdown return, a fumble return for a TD. But they fall to 3-3 now on the season, looking to move on. And they will take on the Bucks of CB West next week, back here at home with a 7:30 kickoff. All right, we're going to step aside and return to wrap this one up on the WBCB Sports Network.
No flash, just...
Hi, Paul Muller here, and there's never been a better time to be part of the team. New car inventory is back. We have over 100 new Toyotas ready to drive home today with some of our most popular models available. And with a huge selection of dependable certified used Toyotas, our pre-owned departments are ready to make a deal that works for you. Plus, our award-winning service centers will have you in and out and back on the road in no time. Visit one of our 3 locations in Langhorne, Glen Mills, or Princeton, or online at teamtoyota.net.
Don't let joint pain bring you down. See how you can get relief at a free joint pain seminar at St. Mary Orthopedics. Joint care experts will inform and answer questions about diagnosing, managing, and treating joint problems, and knowing when it's time for a joint replacement. Ready to get back to life? Get to the next free joint pain seminar. Details at stmaryhealthcare.org/joint seminar. It's your health. Expect more.
An injured knee might look pretty simple, but there's a whole person behind that injury. One who misses the feel of his jump shot and spending time with friends on the court. It's not enough just to heal. He needs to get back out there. At Trinity Health, we're here to help you reach your goals. We combine all the knowledge and expertise of a national health system with personalized health care that treats the individual behind the injury. Because we see all of you.
VitaCare Home Health Agency is your neighborhood home health care agency with over 20 years of experience. Nurses, physical therapists, occupational therapists, as well as home health aides will be there to assist you with your daily living and provide the care you need. Call 215-953-9225 to call for quality in-home care. VitaCare staff is multilingual and speaks English, Spanish, Chinese, Vietnamese, Russian, as well as Ukrainian. Call VitaCare today at 215-953-9225 to find out more about how your family and friends can care for you and get paid at the same time. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for long-term, non-medical or skilled care at VitaCare. Don't delay. Call VitaCare today at 215-953-9225.
Today's game on WBCB brought to you by PNC Financial Services Group, St. Mary Medical Center, Rob's Automotive and Collision. Thanks to Perry Warren for State Rep, BCWSA, Amori's Restaurant, the Revere Restaurant, Kim Rock of Keller Williams, Team Toyota, McCaffrey's Food Markets. This has been the McCaffrey's Game of the Day. Thanks to Ben Franklin Plumbing of Levittown, the Peruzzi Automotive Group, Nolan Painting, Fella Auto Group, Steve Sanacero, Senator Steve Sanacero, helping to power today's game thanks to Chance to Save Bargain Outlet, Lower Bucks Hospital, Jammer Doors, the Trentonian, Junior's Car Wash, Charcoal, BYOB, the Pennsbury Football Parents Club, DiLorenzo's Pizza, the Berg Pizza on New Falls Road, AI Security, Puss and Tavern, Yardley Pharmacy and Supply, Kramer's Bakery, Johnson Chiropractic, Villa Rosa Pizzeria and Italian Restaurant, and Yardley Family Haircutters, excuse me. It's a mouthful. They're all the great community support that we get here with Pennsbury football. And Ben down on the field to talk to our DiLorenzo's The Berg Pizza player of the game, the only score for Pennsbury on a huge fumble return for TD by Boo Boo Pelham. So he'll be with Ben in a little bit. Meanwhile, the Pennsbury Falcons back to 500. They move on to CB West, and CB West able to grind out a win against Neshaminy, but a game that I don't know, seems like for the Pennsbury Falcons, it seems like a good matchup for them. And we'll be back here at home, a little bit of a later kickoff, as Ben mentioned. Kind of truly will have Friday Night Lights in full effect next week. The Pennsbury Football Parents Club inviting you to come out, support the orange and black, and try to root them on to a big victory over the Bucks of Central Bucks West. And today against Central Bucks South, a couple of touchdowns for the Titans, and they win it 12-7. A low-scoring game, but the CB South Titans remain undefeated. Thanks so much for checking out some high school football. Thanks to the crew, Bill Redner, who was up here with us, Ben Goldstein, who was behind the camera throughout, and our video engineer, Gus the Bus Barber. And thanks to everybody for being with us. Our final score once again from Fairless Hills, PA, the Central Bucks South Titans 12, and the Pennsbury